Come try ya!
Hello everyone, welcome on in. I have nothing around me, but I do have something to share. I'm gonna go Windows capture a little something called book. Okay. Wow, now you don't get to see me. I'm gone. I do not exist anymore. Here I am. Hi. All right. The plan for today, it's a book club today. It's very different from what we do usually. We'll be reading a book. The book has about 200 pages. It's got loads of illustrations. Obviously, it's not 200 pages of text, but there's loads and loads and loads of stories. I've read them so many times already, but some of them, I'm not gonna lie to you, some of them every single time, they just get to me. Will I read the text? I will try. However, as Danae was saying, it has been the last 2-3 days have been a little intense, like for me a little intense. For XeroFoxx, who has been working practically non-stop, this man never sleeps. Like, he's been breathing, leaving, hardly sleeping for a week to get this on time to you today. It's like, if there's ever someone you should be impressed with, that's him. But me, I'm not used to the pressure, so I'm a bit of a wreck anyway. I got something for you. There's an exhausted kitten. Yeah, he's been living the stress with me. No, not really. Not really. Latte. It's just there to help me relax. If he moves in a position where I can easily put the camera, I will move the camera away from my face and towards his face. I promise, okay? Okay, do you want to get started? Oh, something that I need to check real quick. And actually, there we go. All right, what I have done, I'm going to try to manage both things at the same time. You know me, technology, multitasking, what could go wrong? Something goes wrong, you'll tell me. What I've done is I'm also sharing this in Discord, just in case, you know, people prefer to listen quietly from Discord. Also, if you actually want to share your story at some point, or if you really want to react to a story reading because it resonates with you, because, you know, feel free to hop on the voice chat in the Morrowind Modding Community Discord, mute yourself as you come in, send me a little message so I know you're there and you want to say something, and we'll talk. Simple as that. Right, have I told you everything? I think. Yes. So this is the first page. Beautiful art by XeroFoxx, where you can see vanilla Morrowind construction set, modded Morrowind. And if I am not mistaken, I think I've seen that today, but like in a blur. Darkev guy just published a video about the May modathon, and I think he's done something quite similar. Somebody on the Morrowind Discord can confirm or tell me that I'm just losing it. In which case, there's nothing I can do but accept the facts. That's just the way it is. All right, Telesia. I'm saying Telesia because lots some misanthrope is such a mouthful. You're gonna be Telesia forever to me unless you absolutely hate it. Welcome on in. All right. I will read the text to you gradually. At the same time, oh, that's the chat is going to cover some of it. Chat, shut up so we can read the page. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to do this. I'm going to read it to you also, so it's not too tiny, especially for those of you who are on your phone. Just a second. There we go. All right. So as you can see, we have organized all the stories into categories. Let me tell you, I'm just going to milk this like crazy, guys. Let me tell you, I collected all the stories on a Google form and then exported all of that, put them in 200 separate little notepads, At that point, both Alice and Denina read each story and sort of tagged them saying, oh, this is funny, this is about a dungeon, oh, this is about Fargoth, this is about this. So they went through all 200 stories, tagged them. Some of them were discarded because they were similar to other stories, or they were, how to say, maybe a little low effort story or not that well written. But we've tried to include as many as possible. That was the first step, just reading all of them, tagging them. And then XeroFoxx came in and he took all of them. Maybe I can show you. Hang on. Maybe I can show you so you can see the monster that we created. Because of course you're super curious about how it all happened. Like the stories themselves, not that important. Or are they? 20 years, let me find the link. So you can see the monster. It was an absolute monster. A beast that was created. That's the stories. Here's the Excel. There it is. Now, people watching on Discord, you're not going to see it, but you're still take out of the bin. Don't be in the bin. All right, let me show you what it looked like. We go right on top. Thank you very much. So you see all the stories had their number. So I created a file and then all of them were tagged like this. So there's more. Okay. You would say, oh, that's a mess. And then XeroFoxx took it and he sorted out how many stories were in each category. Sometimes they were in multiple stories, how long the stories were, and came up with a system where he would say, okay, those are the categories that will have all of the stories that we want. But not only that, and this is how you want to separate them in the categories so that each section is roughly the same length. Like he actually checked the number of words to tell you the degree of perfectionism. That's like looking at it, and that was calculating the weight and thing. That was it. Okay, that was before we could even get started with the book, and that was already so much of it. Let's hide that and close it. Here we go. So that's why we have categories. Here we go. Hello, hello. It was organized chaos for it says 6 hours. I will enable it. XeroFoxx is sending me a version with a final tweak. I will enable it before the stream is over. Okay, but that's the place. That's where you will find the book, and you can download it as soon as I get the next version. It's just one image that's not showing the way we want it. Here's the little introduction. It may be hard to believe, but as of 2022, Bethesda Softworks, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind is 20 years old. Just as young as we are. That's what it is. Ever since that first trip off the boat in Satanin, Morrowind has captured the hearts of players, modders, and artists. Throughout the years, it continues to inspire passion, creativity, and nostalgia. At this point, the HQ version, hey, XeroFoxx, please stop living the book. And I'm happy you're here, XeroFoxx. The HQ version is 100% perfect. Okay. We'll put both. The HQ version is even bigger than that. You need a microscope to see the pixels. That's what it is. Yeah, you can shower XeroFoxx with love and admiration. Really, do it. It's fully deserved. Can I do it? No, I cannot do it. You do that. Do the love thing. Hey, Variel, welcome on in. Can I see love in the chat? It's not even for me, guys. I'll take some of it. Morrowind is a journey. Love is in the air. Thank you. Thank you. It's not so hard to show some love. I'm not sure that it's going to repeat all the time, but yes, thank you. Now I'm just looking at the love in the chat. Story. It's lovely to see. Oh, Kalinta, congratulations. I saw your mod make it to the hot files. I'm super happy. Super happy that you decided to update your mod and that it was so appreciated that it went straight to hot files. The exploit section, so many of them. Let's go. Morrowind is a journey we each took on our own. It's about time we shared those journeys. If you see some typos, unless it's absolutely horrible, don't tell me. Okay, I think I might cry if we spot some things last minute. So on this 20-year anniversary, we created this book, capturing vignettes of the fans' memories of the game, what it means to them, what makes it special all these years later. So get a beverage, get me a beverage of my choice, sit back and bask in the nostalgia and special meaning that playing this unique gem of a game has meant to so many people. I'll try to survive without the coffee. All right, the first section is freedom. If you've been on Discord, I've already shared links to Dominic's art. This is by Dominic. Dragon. Go away, dragon. Also, I think I want to make it full screen, guys. If necessary, I will hide in a corner so you can enjoy all of it. If it's too late for coffee, either way, no, it's never too late for coffee. I think Aurel is staying away from the office because he knows that the moment I saw him, I'm just going to beg him for coffee. But I have latte with me, so maybe you know, latte will be a lure. All right, so that's a beautiful illustrations. If you love it, put some love in the chat, okay? Better have a shortcut to put those hearts because I'm gonna tell you you're not done ever. We have some extra art for freedom. These are people I asked on Reddit, and they send their art. Originally, we only wanted art for the sections like that, and then because there were so many of them and they were so good, cliff races are love. I guess because they were so good, we decided to add them. This is very pretty. This is very cute. Freedom to write your destiny. Yeah, exactly. We thought we just had to start with Seidonin. Now, what you don't know is with XeroFoxx, those we were like, okay, now which order for the categories? And then we were like, hey, Sikor. And then we were like, okay, but which order for the stories? And which order for the illustrations? We might have overthought some things, but I think the result is worth it. Back to the story. I was encouraged to play Morrowind by my friend. He watched me go through Cargen and pointed out how the journal was guiding me towards Gaius Cosadis in Balmora. After meeting that shirtless man, I looked at my friend and asked, okay, what next? My friend replied, do whatever you want to. I said, yeah, I understand that, but what am I actually supposed to do? He looked at me with a big smile. No, seriously, just go do whatever you want. I was eager to test the limits of this supposed freedom, so I hopped on the nearest Silstrider and made my way to a new town called Suran, where I proceeded to steal everything I possibly could. I did choose the thief class, after all. I have a very vivid memory from about 18 years ago of my Khajiit named Merrick arriving in Suran. I'll never forget that feeling of freedom when I realized that I had finally found an RPG that let me play any way I wanted. And that is a story by Pluto Mother as well. So what do you think, guys? Does that feel like something something you've lived through? Hey, Kilgore, welcome on in. Just on time, we're reading stories. And we're singing love as well. I have a feeling that when I put that video on YouTube, I'm gonna get so many copyright strikes, like that song, those 2 seconds of a song. It's just going to be so bad. But hey, there you have it.
Hello.
Hello, Fargos. Fargos wants to be friend. Stealing everything is a classic response to realizing your freedom in Morrowind. It's actually sort of a theme that comes through the story quite a bit. But we could not have that. I don't think we could not talk about it. All right. Moving on. Unless nobody wants to talk. I mean it, guys. If you want to hop on and talk, you're free to do so. I know you're shy. Don't be. Let's read Anonymous's story then. What I really like about this one is, like, I understand that, but what am I actually supposed to do? It's like the very concept that you can do anything is just not understandable at this point by gamers. Ooh, Fargoth is very generous with you. Second story. It was 20 years ago. I was but a wee lad who got a demo disc from my uncle. It included multiple games, some airplane war game, a platformer, a puzzle game, and, you guessed it, Morrowind. It was only a demo version though. That meant that the game would lock after a certain point in the main story. The thing is, if you just didn't do the main story, you could enjoy the entire rest of the game. So I, being 11 years old at the time, embarked on the adventure of a lifetime. This one little demo disc brought me hours and hours of joy, getting into the cave near the Sill Strider in Seydeneen and getting absolutely murdered. Reloading the game and taking it slowly, uncovering everything in Seydeneen before moving on to Balmora, finding places that felt safe to me in this gigantic, inhospitable environment, and eventually becoming a god amongst men with nothing to stand in my way. Morrowind meant total freedom for me. It sparked my open-world gaming interest. Morrowind taught me that anything can be possible in a game. By our good friend Anonymous. Come on, put your hand up. If you... Oh, I can't select it. Put your hand up if you got absolutely murdered when you went into that cave by Seydeneen. Just go ahead. Do we have an emote for hand up or something like hi? Like, I'm really curious. We have Variel. So Variel, myself, and and Anonymous had the same. Still getting absolutely... I know. Me too. Yep, me too. It's just... Even now. Jesse, welcome on in. It is like real world adolescent becoming adult. I'm an adult, can't do anything. Now, what Morrowind held my younger self's questions not answered. Sorry, took me a second there. Almighty Echo as well. Can we take a second to admire? Now, if you want to compliment the book, I won't feel, awkward because I'm not the one who built it. So feel free. Feel free to tell me what you enjoy about it. And here we can recognize a lovely background of our favorite city, Suran, with the Sill Strider, Desalays. We've been there. Come on, we've been there. And next page, getting creative with the little illustrations. Moving on. Unless something wants to say something. Morrowind was the first game I ever played to have so much player freedom. I could take anything I wanted with no restrictions. I think to a young me, it was a sensory overload at first. I ended up hoarding every chitin dagger I could find and displaying them at the bar in Ariel Straight House, presumably because I thought they were special in some way and looked neat. Later on, I realized they were essentially worthless, and my collection shifted to more unique themes. But that memory has stuck with me because it just shows that you can be anything in Morrowind, even an eccentric dagger collector. Signed by our very own Melchior Dark. I have a question for you. What is the weirdest place you've collected you've collected your things? Melchior really liked to put things at Ariel's. I'm sure Ariel's was thrilled. What other storage and display areas did you pick in your game? Danae, you said, I haven't died in there in a long time, but I did when you first played. Yes. Getting to the cave is too pro. I died to the mud crabs outside. Been there, done that as well. So I'm curious, what is the most surprising storing and display room that you've ever had? Did you ever use Ariel's like Melchior did? Balmorra, yeah, the Guild of Mages. That's a neat choice. I mean, there's a little room, there's tables there. I like living in Arkthang since it's roomy. Yeah. And good luck filling that with all your, like, especially with chitin dagger. It would be like, if you tell me I have filled Arkthang with artifacts and items, okay, respects to you. Kalinta, I always use Nerano Manor when I used to play on Xbox. Yeah. Is the corpse? Nerano is where the guy is murdered, right? I know the game. I'm a pro. But if that's the place where the guy is murdered, can you dispose of the corpse? I'm not entirely sure. Anyone remembers? And I need coffee. I'm actually gonna have to go and look for coffee, I think. I wouldn't be able to speak so much for so long without drinking coffee. Or water, actually. I'd settle down for water. Nerano Manor here too. Aha, a popular choice. Oh, Hlalu Manor. Yes, yes, yes. They're neighbors, but they don't have the same fate. Permanent corpse, infinite capacity chest. That's good. Also good when you have a dead companion that follows you. Then you have your permanent infinite capacity chest. Always right there. Not at your fingertips, but at your toes, I guess. 8-plate tavern. 8-plate tavern. Okay. That's when you filled up Nerano Manor. Unless you do the murdering. Yeah, okay. Lalu, yes, it's a great memory. Thank you so much for the follow. You're really tiny and I can't see your name. I'm sorry. I couldn't see, but thank you so much for the follow. I've disabled the big alerts. Pick Nerano for the display area. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, I think Rubberman did a mod with Nerano Manor with all kinds of display scripted things. When I tested it, they had just released it, and it was not perfect. But I don't know if he ever updated it. Worth checking out. I always took that guy Shakin Zaydanin from the tax collector. Yeah, what's his face? Normally I would always kill him. Because not necessarily because I'm like, oh, the low is the low, but more like, hey, that's a fine place you've got in here, sort of thing. And anyway, if I try to take that skill book you've got right here, you're going to attack me, so might as well kill you. Forgot his name. But since I installed Friends and Foes where he can become a potential companion, sometimes I let him live. Coffee, please. What? I can hear it, guys. I can hear it. Salvation. Thank you. All right. Now, Melchior was collecting chitin daggers. Did you collect worthless stuff? And I don't mean like just you picked up every wooden spoon worth 1 septim and then you sold them. I mean like you picked something worthless constantly and you actually kept them and put them on display. I like the daggers, and they do look cool. I mean, the whole chitin set, like even the chitin armor, it's a set that you keep on wearing for a while just because it looks cool. Ash statues, you must have had such sweet dreams. Dwemer coins? And then did you pile them up, but like really one on top of the other, which you could do in Morrowind? I was so disappointed with Oblivion, among other things, because they had those lovely display cases. They were really lovely, and you would place things, and then just by flipping gently the lid down, it would be like an earthquake in your display case, especially if you had displayed gemstones and jewelry, which is what I had done, and everything flew in there, and I was like, I'm never gonna collect anything in here. That's it. Never. Not happening. Hallelujah.
So is there a new version I can upload?
Yes, there is a new version.
Is it on the drive?
Do check. XeroFoxx just sent it to me on Discord.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I'm downloading it and sending it to you. I'm sorry, guys. Little what's the word? Things to do. Morrowind placement system was so good. Web fixed. It was so good. Like not realistic. You couldn't send, a corpse flying, sure, but still it was pretty good to be able to actually put things in a tidy manner. Just grabbing a file. Don't mind me, guys. Just enjoy your coffee. Fixed. Here we go. I have trauma from enemy attacks on bug. In Morrowind? FYI, 20 UK, but Steam now has Arena and Daggerfall for free. Yeah, that's true. They also have Redguard there. And I read recently, like originally, the version of Daggerfall that they uploaded on Steam wouldn't work for Daggerfall Unity, but what's his name? I'm thinking something Clayton. The project lead on Daggerfall Unity has actually modified things on his end so you can use it. I saw a tweet about that. So you do have a little extra step, but you can use it. And coffee addiction is important. I need it, okay? I can stop anytime. I cannot. I need it. Happy birthday, Morrowind, indeed. Welcome on in, people from YouTube. Lovely to see you. Shall we go back to our stories? That was the one by Melchior Dark. As ever, feel free to comment if you want to comment on that. Let me know. We'll talk. Not a problem.
You didn't send me the file.
I didn't. Didn't I press enter, for example? I didn't press enter.
Also read the message I sent.
I have now pressed enter.
Also read the message I sent.
Is that the HD one?
And that's a message to send to the guy who was complaining about the URL being bad.
Okay. Sorry, guys, maintenance. Just making sure you have time between those stories. There we go. Yep. Okay. Yep. XeroFoxx telling me, keeping in mind while streaming that there are 235 pages. I'll be honest with you guys, I am not even thinking of trying to maybe cover the whole book. Like I want to discover some of it with you. And by the way, some of those graphics I still haven't seen because XeroFoxx took another go at upgrading the graphics. So I'm still going to discover some pages with you. I don't want to read all of it with you because I want you to have a chance also to, read it for yourself. A little bit of a just just for you. So now it's just for me and you, and later it's going to be just for you. So I doubt we'll go to 235 pages. I said 200 plus. Honestly, no, it's more like 250 minus at this point. All right, let's read the shadow from the shadow. Coffee. Let's read the story from Tell Shadow. There is so much to learn, indeed. A memory I have of my hoarding adventure was the fact that you could pick up pillows. I've got an idea here. I went to the surrounding areas to hunt for pillows, and I managed to amass loads of pillows from Balmora. Joraine Tellas was kind to me as to lend me her pillow collection, so I went straight back to Sadanin, and with my sister watching me play, I began to construct a pillow fort. A classic activity now. Window, check. Doorway, check. Roof, check. There were only a few shacks and the open sea, and I saw that as an opportunity to create my pillow base of operation. After it was complete, I ran straight into the wall of my pillow fort and realized the whole thing had no collision. Hours of... Oh crap, it's a typo. Oh crap, I've seen it. I cannot unsee it. How did I miss that? Hours of... Erase the second F from your mind, okay? Hours of pillow hunting and fort building gone to waste. Darn you, Vardenfeld pillows. Now I'm curious, how many of you actually built a pillow fort? I know it's kind of a fun activity to do on Test 3 MP servers, but I've never made one myself. Like I saw Viriax make one in one of his Morrowind Let's Plays. Neither have I. I've missed something. I don't know. I never got to finish the main quest as there are always things to keep me busy. Gabriel, I understand you fully. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. I completely understand you, but it's like there's so much to do. I've recently completed the Blood Moon main quest. I still haven't done Tribunal. Yeah. Still so many things to look forward to, right? A book fort. Please, Galinter, tell me that was with book rotate or at least perfect placement, so you didn't have to stack the book flat. You could at least flip them up, because otherwise that's just so crazy. The secret of the extra comfy pillow. Yeah, we know this one, and if I'm not mistaken, Remiros made a pillow mod that adds different types of pillow, but also expands on that quest. If you wanted to relive that story and expand on it. Okay, another story by Anonymous. I'm warning you, this anonymous person has shared tons of memory, so here we go. I was about to give up on gaming. It was the end of the PS2, GC, Xbox era, and I was tired of gaming. Has that ever happened to you? Thank you, Denina. That's the one. Thank you for putting the exact name. Oh, hello, Keton. Special treat. I have realized who my kitten looks like. He looks like the Light Fury in How to Tame Your Dragon, because he has that rather long and flat forehead and those big eyes, but I'm getting distracted. Yeah, he's exhausted. But let's go back. Did you ever get tired of gaming? That's the question I'm curious about. I'll read the story and then I'll read your answers, okay? We don't want to get too distracted. Don't get me wrong, I still loved my GameCube for Pokemon and Zelda, but I was not a fan of the RPGs for the PlayStation and had grown tired and jaded of the inactive gameplay on that system, where I never felt like it was my story, where I could never become my character. Then in the summer of 2005, I worked my butt off and I got an original Xbox from GameStop. I asked around online for game suggestion beyond Halo or Knights of the Old Republic, Jet Set, Radio Future, I don't know, Radio Future, and the Buffy games, remember that. One game consistently came up. That game was Morrowind. So I threw it in with a lot of games I got. I played through the other games I had. Overall, I wasn't impressed with any of the games really. I wondered if buying the Xbox was a mistake. Then I booted up Morrowind GOTY Edition. I created my character, got Fargoth's ring, and the game crashed at least 3 times before I finally got out of the census office and entered Satanin proper. I was hooked. Like, of course, the game's crashing. That's new and innovative. Let's do that. This is what I was missing from gaming, a huge world that I literally got lost for hours on end with a unique art style and gripping story. I could make my own character and become who I wanted to be in my own mind. I learned to have fun with gaming again, and for that reason, Morrowind will always be my favorite game of all time. There's a hole in my life at that moment. It's soon time for a kitten. It's time for a kitten. Latte is actually a particular breed. He is a British short hair. Pure breed. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I didn't want a, you know, whatever kitten. Just couldn't find a whatever kitten. Like, no, I just couldn't. We looked in shelters, they were all adult cats, and I really wanted to have a kitten. I've already had rescue cats, but I wanted a kitten. I waited 5 years to get a cat again. So we have a British short hair lilac kitten. You made it. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. All right, questions. The games that I mentioned there, have you played them as well? I did play on a GameCube because a friend lent it to me, and I used it mostly to play Animal Crossing. Okay, don't go away, don't go away. I really enjoyed it. And I didn't play Zelda or Pokemon at all. The stream needs more kitten. I only have the one. I'm sorry. Send your kittens. Send your kittens and they'll be on stream for sure. To get a pair of cats and make them breed. Yeah, but we were only allowed to have one cat in the flat. That's what the owner said, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna argue. I do want the one. So it's just one cat for now. Thoughts on these games? Or no? Pokemon Coliseum on GameCube. I feel I've just missed out on the whole Pokemon thing. Maybe I was already too old, or maybe I got it. I was already playing Morrowind. That's it. That's when gaming disappeared and was entirely replaced by Morrowind. There have been exceptions. Extra Globes, hello. What we are reading is a book that XeroFoxx myself, with the help of Alice, Denina, and Vardenfell Stormsage, we put that book together with contributions from many artists and many players who shared their story, and so we're reading them. I'm going way ahead. This is the next page. You can see it. And so we're reading some of those stories together because, well, because it's fun. It does look great. Didn't I tell you guys? Do you know the torture for the past few days? Like in the morning, I would get up early and XeroFoxx would still be up and about, obviously, working on the book. And it would tell me, I did that section. Jesse, I answer right now. I entered myself for it. You do not buy the book. We're giving you the PDF. And I'll give you the link. I'll give you the link. Now, will I know the link without making a mistake? The net.sk. I'm testing it. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. The version that is there, I need just a second. I need my tech guy. I'll be right back. You can read the next story without me. Yeah, different. Oh no, I woke up the kitten. But I'm back. A super night owl, so our times don't work out. Yes, I don't know when he sleeps. Like 1 hour and a half or 3 hours at a time. That's how it is. So that link is good. Wait a second. XeroFoxx just sent me the version without the typo that we just spotted. So wait a second, like 50 seconds or so.
You know you will find more typos.
No, I will not look at them. I will ignore them.
There will be a,
This one I saw it. It was too late.
a new revision, I'm sure.
Yes, Latte, it's your fault for being cute. I have to kiss you. Mm. Stop it, Latte. Stop it. Okay. You're free. You're free. There we go. Uploaded?
No.
About to, yeah?
No.
No,
not yet.
sorry. In a few minutes, guys, you'll get it. So no, you don't buy the book. That was very, very important for us that this project is about, without a doubt, it's about Morrowind and how much we love it. Not, hey, there's this cool game we can make a few bucks off. That's definitely not. Hey, welcome on in, XeroFoxx. So you download it. It's there. It's there for the taking. We'll also add a link to a very HD version if that's what you want. The one we're looking at is not the HD version. Shall we go on with the story?
Okay, it's up.
It's up. It's up. But don't look at it, or look at it with me. Like, I want to share that with you. I don't want you to say, okay, we've got the books, bye.
I want to share it, but don't look. No looking, only share it.
Yeah, it will be definitely, it will be more fun if you've played the game. Not finish it, because honestly you don't finish Morrowind. You don't. You play a lot of it, you see most of it, you do the main quest, but you don't finish it. That's the beauty of it. All right, next story. Otherwise I'll lose my voice before we finished one section. I first got Morrowind when the GOTY edition came out on the original Xbox. Up until that point, my only experience with RPG was like Baldur's Gate, isometric type stuff. You never do, Escobar, and welcome on in. I was kind of turned off by the idea of a first-person RPG, but my oldest brother told me it was good, so I stuck it out. My two brothers and I spent countless hours playing on the Xbox. My first memory of the game was discovering that you could steal items and some NPCs wouldn't react. However, I didn't know they would report your crime. I had to delete that file after getting such a high bounty that guards wanted to kill me on sight. Been there, done that? Put your hand up. You can finish a quest, but the game is endless. Yes. And then, of course, if you start modding the game, it's game over. It's like, did you check the Nexus mod today? Did you check? There's like 20 new mods. I didn't have a chance to look at them, like really look at them. But I know there's like easily 5 of them I'm going to want to try and probably want to keep. So, yeah, that's a whole new thing. Question for people who played the game, when they were quite young, 20 years ago, with friends and brothers and sisters. How was it? Was it one was playing and the others were watching? Did you have to take turns? Did you have to flip a coin? Did you secretly wake up at night so you could play the game, hoping that the others would be sleeping so you can finally play on your own? How was it for you? XeroFoxx saying there's a good reason this game is still very much alive after 20 years. It's because we love it so much and well, no, the game's great. And that's why we love it so much. There, I'm there. And I will be adding Morrowind Amalgamated today to the Nexus as well. Hey, you've been working on that for such a long time, Huskabar. Those of you who don't know because you haven't watched Huskabar's stream, he has put together hundreds of mods, like hundreds of mods, fixing them, tweaking them so that they all work together. If you want a challenging game, Huskabar was doing... Thank you for the... It's not a follow on YouTube, it's a subscription, but thank you, really appreciate it. Welcome on in. Welcome on in, guys. So do check Morrowind Amalgamated. Lots of mods working together there. Nice. Kilgore. Oh, Kilgore, how is Arena going? I saw you were playing Portal. Does that mean... oh, thank you, Variel, for putting the name. My chat has big letters so I can see it, but then I have a tiny, tiny corner of my screen, essentially just big enough to see that the stream is still running. Thank you for writing that. Zach Alpaca, welcome on in. Thank you so much for subbing. Yeah, all going well, that is good. I skipped school quite a bit to play the game. I, as a teacher, cannot condone that, but I understand the urge. I understand the urge, definitely. Alonso, I just watched my friend play at first. It was frustrating because he spent like 20 minutes punching the NPC on the starting boat. Yes, the very beginning. You didn't have everything locked up until you completed the card gen. I play Arena 3 Friday to Sunday. Okay. XeroFoxx, I got Morrowind from my brothers for my birthday. Good choice. Good choice of gift there. He played Daggerfall. My parents were against video games. They weren't happy. Oh no, but my dad was a computer engineer. Oh, come on. And your dad did not, or maybe he understood too well the appeal of video games. The family computer was in the same room. I'd play Morrowind in secret right behind him. And then he would alt-tab. Are you sure? Are you sure he didn't spot you? But he was like, let's let him enjoy it. I don't know. 3 days a week. Yeah, Kilgore, that's what I understood. But at the same time, I knew that. Gabriel, my big brother, mostly played, but I enjoyed watching. He had a Redoran, basically a paladin. Well, for Redoran, it's a good choice. It was awesome. Some of my fondest memories with my brothers. See, Morrowind does that. Brings people together, even though it's a single player game. I'm sure he knew. My mom was more the one who didn't like the video games. So he was like, nice, very nice. Is it time for another story? I still have coffee. Oh, bye. Yes, you're beautiful. Well, you can't really see him though. All right, guys, I'm still here. I'm still with you. Story time. I don't have any images to share, but I want to share the history of the second game. The history. It's not a story, it's history. And I get that. With Morrowind, you know, it's not just a story, it's history. The soundtrack, yeah. We were like a couple of people mentioned the music. It's really quite something special. It's funny because I keep looking where my camera used to be, but that's okay. I'm making eye contact with you guys. You're just not making eye contact with me. All right. It came with a magazine. Unfortunately, I lost it years ago. That was very common format here in Brazil. I first bought Neverwinter Nights and I had enjoyed it a lot, but the freedom Morrowind has was a surprise to me. I didn't even know how to speak and read English properly, so I didn't get much of what was happening. I spent months playing by stealing, discovering new places, learning the fixed places where some good items were. Ebony short sword, for example, glass armor, why not? I always went straight to the Mentor's Ring, fighting new people, dying a lot. For some unknown reason to me, I stopped playing and only rediscovered the game years later after seeing some video comparing it to later games. I started playing again, started using mods, beginning of the end, and since then Morrowind has a special place in both my gaming memories and reality. The mods using the MWSC Lua framework have, in my humble opinion, brought a way for people to play this game and still have access to good quality of life features, and I dream of the same being possible in OpenMW. Okay. Yes, the music is absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. Shall we talk a little bit about MWSC Lua and what it did for Morrowind? What do you think, Latte? Latte? No thoughts? Latte doesn't care about Lua, you guys tell me. He did make the music of other games. And now I can't remember the names. People more knowledgeable than me will tell you. So my questions for you, because I do have questions for you with each stories. Is there a game with Morrowind or other for which you actually stayed up at night? Did you pull all-nighters playing games? And if so, which ones? I want to know that. I'm not going to give you another story until you tell me. Ah, you're charming, everyone. Hey!
All-nighters with Baldur's Gate 2 back in the day. Messing around with mods. Finding new stories to tell with it.
Yay.
I even remember using it to learn how to mod initially. Well, sort of. Baldur's Gate 2 modding has a lot of tables.
Yeah, it's completely different from Morrowind modding. And sorry, I was talking over you at the beginning. You said Baldur's Gate 2, Neverwinter Night as well? Or did I dream that?
A little bit of Neverwinter.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly just Baldur's Gate 2. I never really got into Neverwinter as much as 2.
Oh, interesting. People tend to love both, usually.
Well, it's mostly just due to time constraints.
True.
I haven't really played Neverwinter as much.
It's not too late. They're still fairly active modding it, which is really quite impressive. It's nearly as old. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Let me catch up with you, chat. All-nighters with Morrowind? Well, kind of a compulsory at this point. JRPG when I was trying to finish a dungeon. For me, actually, Julie, hello, no, Julien. Sorry, dark letters, Julien. For me, the same. I actually had all-nighters with Final Fantasy VII, of all games. What people have been able to achieve with Lua is nothing short of incredible. Yeah, you can say that again. Also, extremely looking forward to OpenMW and you know, multiplayer, playing on Android, playing on servers with friends. That's also the stuff that nobody dared imagine. I mean, somebody did clearly and made it happen. Extra gloves as an adult, mostly MMOs, but as a kid, JRPGs. MMOs are both wonderful and poison. It's like once you get started, so hard to stop. And like I find that's my experience. You tell me if it's the same for you. But I find that with MMORPGs, when I start one, like I get into it so much, that's all I want to do. Well, you know, work and things like that. It's like a fever, and then it goes away, and I can never play the game again. It's done. It's gone. Was that the same for you, or can you play them consistently for years? For me, it's a fever, like too much, but not too long, hopefully. Let me catch up with you. What did I have? I went to sleep 6 a.m. today after watching Morrowind streams all night. It's even, I was gonna say, it's even worse than playing it. I would stay up late to play Witcher 3. Oh, nice. And skipped school to play Fallout New Vegas. Goober, I understand the need to skip school to play a game. But let's not. Fallout New Vegas is definitely a game that I want to play at some point, but you know, as soon as I finish Morrowind. Calendar, Morrowind, Oblivion, Dragon's Dogma, that's a good game. I'm not into like pure action games because I'm bad at them, but I really did enjoy Dragon's Dogma, which I have not finished, but that's a different thing. Souls also did some Harry Potter game music. I didn't know about that. I wasn't sure about Neverwinter. I didn't say it because I wasn't sure I was right. Dungeon Siege and KOTOR. Nice. Paul, salut! Making a 48-hour relay with my brother playing the 4th. That is very true. It's a true story. Paul is not lying. I know that. But Paul, tell me if I'm mistaken. I think you would take relay with your brother, who happens to be my brother, but you didn't tell people that there were 2 of you playing, right? Or did you tell people that no, it's 2 of us playing, that's why we can play all the time? Tikatsi, the 4th prophecy. And I remember you showed me the game, but I didn't really get into it, fortunately. I would have lost my life, even more so. Corsair, my mother hated fantasy, but somehow I charmed her to buy Morrowind. I was lucky because at the time it was 3 discs together. You're getting 3 games for the price of 1. Of course, it's a deal. You have to buy it. Alondro, you used to work night and then come home and play Civilization 5. Civilization games are another one where you don't see the time. And you go, okay, I'll keep going until I have built whatever, the library in that city. Okay, no, I'll stop once I have good defense for that city. And like the day goes by and then it's gone. Guild War, another game that I didn't get into, but it looks pretty. I won't play it because no time, but it looks very tempting. I see Prof. I would sometimes play the original StarCraft until I heard the birds as dawn approached. You don't realize, right? And today we were talking with XeroFoxx and we were agreeing that when you're really, really into something, it seems like your body stops working. And so in that case, you play a game, and then when you stop, that's when you realize just how hungry you are, how thirsty you are, how tired you are, and how badly you need to go to the bathroom. Sip, yes, you're talking about Jeremy Soul. Yes, that's unfortunate. Honestly, I think I don't want to stop appreciating the music. It doesn't take away from the music, but it's extremely unfortunate. Not for the music, not for him, but for the victims. The download link thing giving you a 404 error. Let me double check that it's working on my end. It was working fine, and I see my tech expert running.
Well, because I heard you.
You heard me. Good. So I know if I need coffee, I should say the word coffee really loud. Doesn't work that way?
No, it's fine.
It's fine? It's fine.
They might need to refresh.
Oh yeah, do try that. Because, yeah, for me it's working. It's called book.pdf. You can't miss it. And by the way, can we take a second? I'll catch up with the chat, I promise, at some point. But look at the beautiful website that we have. This is from the book. We added the links to the podcast. The modders interview. We have so many extremely famous and popular modders. There's even that Sib guy. Cyprinus something? He's there. So now you know that we accept everyone and anyone. But seriously, if you're curious about modders, all of that is on my blog. That's when you're done reading the book and listening to the podcast. All right, catching up with the stream. You're doing okay, Latte? Oh, you're looking. Oh, wow, he's having some dreams. Yeah, he's playing Morrowind. I think he just came face to face with his first Ash zombie. That's what happened there. I'm gonna come back so I can talk to you because it feels weird not talking to you. I promise you, Latte will be back and I'll, he'll be there. For now, you're dealing with me. So yeah, the page is working. I've just checked that works. Lately, I've had a very hard time putting down Dragon Quest II Builder. Dragon Quest, I never got into it because I think it's first a Nintendo game and I never had a Nintendo, so that would slow down gaming. And also the artist that did Dragon Quest and before that Dragon Ball, I don't really like the style. So consequently, I was not really drawn to the game either. Old consoles leaving the system on for days when you couldn't save. Yes! Oh, extra gloves, so true. But also, there was an advantage to that hardcore rule that you couldn't save in a dungeon, you couldn't save unless you made it back to town or a save point. When your mom would say, dinner, and you'd say, 5 minutes, Mom, I need to finish the dungeon. And if you were lucky, you would start another dungeon before she called you again. And you could say very honestly, but I'm in a dungeon, I can't save. Good times. Good times. It's back up now? Good. That's good. Am I catching up with you guys? No. I'm gonna read. I honestly started playing Morrowind recently because of all the stories and praise I've heard from people. Extra gloves, I'm so glad. And that's a hard question. Feel free to be honest. Do you feel that the praises are deserved? Even though the game is 20 years old, the graphics can be considered dated, the combat system is not, Dark Souls game, we know it. But do you feel that, the praises were deserved? Danae, a teacher, hearing someone in chat talking about skipping school. Yeah, sorry, I'm a teacher. Random Pizza, hey, welcome on in. It's a very neat game. Yes, it is. Corsair, Witcher 3 was a sleepless obsession for 2 weeks, but then you finished it. Like you can have a sleepless obsession with Morrowind, but 2 weeks you're not going to finish the game. 20 years, we cannot. Paul, yes, true, only one player for the other gamers. It pays off to have a twin. That's the secret. Julien, I have ADHD, so I have to be careful not to hyperfixate and neglect taking care of myself. I can understand that. Like, I'm fortunate enough, but I can understand being, even without ADHD, it's so easy to get into a game and get so obsessed. So kudos to you. That can't be easy. Really. Escobar, I have so many black pots because I get immersed in the game and I forget I've got something boiling on the stove. My fire alarm gets a good workout. Does that really... Do you have your fire alarm triggering because you were gaming? And what do you tell your landlord or the firefighters? Sorry, I was playing Morrowind. You know how it is. And they go, oh yes, we understand. Don't worry about it, sir. We understand. Prof, there were a few browsers. Oh, I don't need to show you the blog page anymore. Sorry, I thought I hid it. There, I hid it. Great. There were a few browser-based Flash games I would start playing, and then 8 to 10 hours. Was it a cookie clicker? No, this one, the cookie clicker, the original cookie clicker. It's hard to say when you're tired, but it's still up. Website looks great. It's all really well put together. Thank you. The website, Aurel did it. He did the website. And like really the book, everything is the tired guys. Is the different talents of different people that all came together, which I think is beautiful. Nod. just not on the other side of the camera. There was a question for is Stratify, he'll end this. The interview, yes, Lucifer, you still have 4 days to send me your interview. Counting. Kilgore, even vanilla Morrowind looks great to me. I completely agree with you. Like nowadays for my graphics, I use vanilla texture, sometimes enhanced, but vanilla textures, like as in higher def. And the one texture that I think is gorgeous and you don't need to change is the sky. The sky in Morrowind, I don't care, it's 20 years old, it was beautiful then, it's beautiful now. We have beautiful mods, I say beautiful a lot. We have beautiful mods that make amazing skies. Watch the skies, vapor mist, and then textures, of course, for the skybox. But we don't really need them. We really don't need them. They are great mods for it. Sure, I should have read that. what Kilgore Trout said. Variel, guys, I've almost caught up with you. Say nothing until I catch up, please. Variel, your first Elder Scrolls game was Oblivion. I didn't play Morrowind until last year because I didn't realize how amazing the game was. You should have watched me. Oh, I did. Oh my. Exactly. Syrax, the website. Somebody has the link for the website. It's MW. Syrax, you're going to recognize the domain. mw.thenet.sk. Know that website? That's the one. And that's where you can download the book that we have already. Look at that, page 12. We're on fire. Hey, welcome on in. Julia, do you wanna share a story with us? No, you're muted. All right. Well, just wave if you change your mind. Drama Quama, I'm muting you. In case, or if you're still around, mute yourself just in case you knock over your microphone or something. But then if you want to add something, just hop on. That's not an issue at all. I know that music, very popular music. Merlord, welcome on in. Is XeroFoxx still alive? Yes, barely. Still alive, indeed. Look at that, right there. Have you seen the previous pages as I'm talking and just going blah, 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 blah? I can scroll up so you can look at them and then you can read the stories for yourself. Merlord, if you want to hop on chat, you can do that. Though for you, it's morning. Maybe you're getting ready for work. I don't know if that's easy for you to hop on chat, not to work, or both. Not sure. I can't get over how gorgeous that is. Yeah.
Did you know
that? There's a cute kitten who's streaming, yes. I did move the camera so people can see him. And then everyone in the chat said, well, yes, it's a cute cat, but we'd rather see you. True story. Chat, he's not buying it. Where was I? The book is incredible. Yes. Yeah, he worked until like 15 minutes before the stream. And then we started the stream. He noticed something, fixed it. And then I started reading a story, noticed a typo, and he fixed it again. Do we have a Reddit post? No, I will do after the stream. I will post on Reddit, Discord, everything. Normally Bethesda is going to share the link tomorrow. The Nexus is going to share the link tomorrow as well. For now, that's what I said on the Discord. For now, it's just us, guys. I wanted this to be just us. You know, the people who are here normally, the people I talk to, or, you know, who join now, but that's fine. The people I talk to on the Discord, I just wanted us to enjoy that. The world will enjoy that tomorrow. I'm sure they will. At some point, eventually. Or else. Excuse me, I need to reply to Lady Nerevar. One thing I can say is, especially with this project, I've been talking to all kinds of people, and it's not a flex like, ooh, I talk to people. It's just to say that it's been super interesting talking to people who make game, people who draw things, people who have never played Morrowind but play the Elder Scrolls Online, people who have modded absolutely every single game in the Elder Scrolls franchise. Fascinating, truly fascinating to talk to these people. My lord, you need to get up and get ready for work in a minute. Don't worry, you can still read the book later on. Retro games, there's something about older games, right? There's something about them, and I can't put it in my mind. Morrowind is 20 years old. It really does qualify as retro gaming. It does. 20 years is enough to be a retro game. But it doesn't feel like one. It absolutely doesn't. Is it for you? Would you say Morrowind is retro gaming? It's too pretty. It's too gorgeous. All right, now I'm not catching up with the chat anymore. XeroFoxx, but a lot of people came together to make this possible. Absolutely, that's what I was saying a minute ago. Me and my vision. I didn't code the website. Gosh, I couldn't. Aurel did. Danae proofread the stories. Alice, that's what I was explaining at the very beginning of the stream. And then, of course, XeroFoxx for the beauty that you see there. And the tenacity to see this through. Dark Elf guy also, yeah. It was like all kinds of people with different talent coming together. Too bad couldn't add book to the game. Jesse, you mean add the book to the Morrowind game as a plugin? That's something that I want to do, just not today. What you don't know is that this morning I taught 4 classes, and then with XeroFoxx we finished, rather he finished the book as I was watching. And now streaming, but I think I will select what will be my favorite stories, because I can't put, like, there's 200 pages, guys. I can't put all of those stories in a book in Morrowind. That's just not gonna work. But I will probably pick my favorite stories and put those in a book and put that in a mod so that they can be read in game. But it's not going to be as pretty as this, because in-game I'm not going to be able to put those pictures like that. Certainly not to, you know, put them in the middle of the text and make it so pretty. But it's something that we're thinking. Wolfbane, you did make it into the book. You did. A lot of people, like most people did, honestly. Congratulations. Games don't age, but technology advances. Kilgore, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. People often judge older game with newer eyes and bring up nostalgia. I don't buy it personally. There is some of it, I'm sure. I was talking with Cliffworms yesterday. The interview will be out in a couple of weeks. Tomorrow is Dark Elf Guy's interview, by the way. My brain is going in 25 different directions. I hope you can follow. And we were talking about games and nostalgia, and he said, oh, I wish I could forget about Morrowind to play it again. And that's something I've already mentioned on stream. I wish, like, I wish I could forget about it and discover it again and live all these stories that I'm reading here that I kind of forgot. Like reading them, I go, yeah, I get those feelings by proxy. But then there is a chance, however small, there is a chance that maybe I wouldn't love it. So, you know, I'm not sure I would take the chance. That being said, there's so many people who said I started with Skyrim, then Oblivion, then Morrowind, and Morrowind is my favorite, and they don't have nostalgia. So it's got to be something more than nostalgia. Don't call it retro, that means we're old. Yeah, it is true. Vegeto, I see you in the chat. If you want to tell us a story or react to the stories we're reading, just come on in and say hi. I'm proud to be old. You know what? Yeah, definitely. Well aged, like wine, but not like cheese. Cheese getting old is not good. No good. So age like wine, not like cheese. You can have your wine with cheese, but don't age like cheese. Morrowind was almost 10 years old when I got into it. Hasn't aged a day. There we go. Point in case. I'm in the book. Fame at last. Yes, you are in the book too. I remember reading your stories. I read too many stories. I enjoyed reading every one of them. Prof, you're saying I probably wouldn't have gotten back into Morrowind if I hadn't stumbled across Dark Elf Guys and Danae on YouTube. Yes. I'll be honest with you guys. Sometimes I got my little burst of ego. And clearly you don't mod Morrowind or live stream or make videos about Morrowind because you want to be famous. Like at least go and do something with Skyrim. You'll have a large audience. So it's not about getting famous worldwide with or thanks to Morrowind, but I do get a definite surge of pride when people tell me that somehow I had a hand in making them play Morrowind again, or still, or mod Morrowind. Like I go, yeah, from now on, every mod you make, I take 1% of the credit. But seriously, it makes me happy. So thank you, Prof. That's basically an amazing compliment. Primal DNB, hello. I first played Morrowind only a couple of years ago, so no nostalgia here. It's the best Elder Scrolls game by far. Thank you. That's what I've been saying all this time. Hey, games I loved as a kid. It is true. They are games that I loved as a kid, and like I want to have them. In fact, I have both games in my Steam library because I love the game. And then I launched it and I was like, no, I can't play it. I still love the game, but I can't play it anymore. So the nostalgia is not in making me play. You don't keep playing the game for the nostalgia, I don't think. You keep loving a game for the nostalgia. But not playing it 20 years later because of nostalgia. Let me catch up with you. I have to show you. He does that all the time. So he was sleeping there and now he's sleeping here. And as time goes by, he sort of slides out until there's just one little paw left on the side of his cushion. Like, oh no, this is too comfortable. Just let me go on the hard, cold table. This was a little latte break offered to you by me with the participation of latte. Here we go. Playing vanilla classic World of Warcraft doesn't have the same feeling when I first played it. I heard a lot of people when WoW Classic was coming back, and lots of people, yes, finally, we can have World of Warcraft the way it used to be, and then a lot of them are like, yeah, because we do get used to some amount of comfort and quality of life when playing. Dexter, welcome on in. If you want to share a story, just say something and we'll talk to you. XeroFoxx, let's just say this. I was not prepared for the emotional punch these stories delivered. True, I can tell you when we were reading those stories, the messages between XeroFoxx and myself was like, have you read story number 5? No, hang on. Oh yes, now I've read it, and it was blah, blah, blah. And then later on, have you read story 122? Yes, I have. It's amazing. It's so true. He's not lying. And I am an optimist who anticipated that, and I was still blown away reading this in Word document. It's why I wanted to spend so much effort to do these stories justice. And I think, chat, I don't want to influence you in any way, like, I really don't. But is it fair to say that those stories are, what is the word? I don't think embellish is just enough. If you think of a better word, let me know. But those pages make the stories come to life, make them a lot more impactful. And we really should read one. So I'm going to catch up with you, chat, and then we'll read the next story. We're still in the first part, by the way. We haven't gotten very far. It's not the point. We're not trying to race through the book. We want to savor it. It's like a glass of wine, I guess. You don't want to just go bottoms up. That's ridiculous. Wolfbane. I am very much into retro gaming and retro computing. I built retro PCs. Go to retro LAN parties. Honestly, LAN parties. Who's been there? Put your hand up. Come on. Don't let me be alone there. LAN parties. That technology, amazing. Multiplayer, internet, heck, webcam, talking. Sure, all of those things are great, but LAN parties, there's something about them. There's something about them. Colin, technological limitation forces creators to focus on what's important out through adversity. True, there's something of that. Like I find when looking at Steam, and you see the thumbnails and you see the screenshots and you go, oh wow, that looks impressive. And too often when you read the comments, basically you see that the games are visually beautiful, but then they don't have they have no content. That's not the word. The rest doesn't follow. Now let's go with that. Morrowind was 20 years ahead of its time. I think it definitely was new and definitely set a trend for games. So yeah, maybe not ahead of its time, but definitely a trendsetter that lasted for 20 years. Denina, I felt exactly the same way when I read through all the stories. I laughed, I cried, and I said, yes, I can so relate. Agreed. Wolfbane saying, for me, nostalgia isn't the main factor. I find new retro game all the time that I enjoy immensely. Absolutely. Sometimes, I mean, you can be put off by the controls, they're clunky, the big fat pixel or the very primary colors of them. But in a lot of cases, if you just, give it a good shot, you'll enjoy it. Kilgore Trout saying, I guess in my case, I was not a kid playing these games. I am 59, and for example, I was 39 when Morrowind came out, so I wasn't playing it as a child, but as an adult. Yeah. I was an adult as well, and I still love it. When I was a child, I played marble. Yeah, that you're not alone. Me too. Marbles. Oh, my favorite things with marbles was to look at them through the light and slowly move them so you could see all the colors like a kaleidoscope. And then of course you had the big ones. We played marbles. I'm so old that we played marbles in the courtyard. That was it. Marbles, skipping rope, that too. Like skipping rope until the age of 11. That's what we did. Good times. Good times. Morrowind has both, though, nostalgia from a better time game developer daring to experiment, but it's also entirely unique. There has been nothing like Morrowind since, really. Yeah, even the other Elder Scrolls games have some of it, the world and the lore, but they don't give the same vibe. Watching Danae's Warrior Let's Play got me back into Morrowind. I did that. I guess I need to accept the fact that I am an influencer. I absolutely despise. No, that's not true. I do not identify as an influencer. I'm not trying to influence anyone. But if I influence you to play Morrowind, mod Morrowind, you know what? I'm an influencer. I'll take the tag. I take it. Any new mod to look out or to check out? Prophet? Today, there's 35 new mods that came out just today for Morrowind. I haven't had a chance to look them up because we've been busy with the book, life, work, and things. But tomorrow, I'll definitely take a look at them. Prophet, when is the last time you've played Morrowind? What is new mods? Do you mean in the last week, the last month, the last year, or the last 5 years? Beyond that, we're gonna need the whole night for you to catch up with what's been happening in the modding scene. So if you give me a time frame, what is new mods? I can tell you. But yes, the answer is, even if it's a day, even if you meant new mod like a day, yes, there are mods worth checking out. Still unable to understand how Discord rooms work. What are Discord rooms? But I know the threads that we are starting to use a little bit, but rooms? I don't know. I kind of miss the forums, the old official Bethesda forums, the fact that there was a thread for a topic. I find with Discord, it's great. Obviously, it's great. We can communicate, we can share ideas, we can have a little bit of drama on Friday, which I understand is entertainment, apparently. It's a great tool. But whenever you read through a thread, you need to filter out the things that are not quite on topic. They're conversation and they're sparked by what was said in the thread. So they can be there, like they belong there. But you still need to filter out a lot of things to get the real bits of information that you want about that particular topic. So I kind of miss old forums. But hey. Prof, I played the game when it first came out, downloaded from some of Emma's Quest mod that I never actually played, and then drifted away for years. So how quickly did you start modding your game, Prof? For me, I'm so glad I didn't have an internet connection, so I got to play the game for a while. I want to say a couple of years before I discovered mods. So I got to play the game before I stopped because I was modding. The cushion is too small for, I mean, don't ask. My poor little kitten. You okay there? Yes? Oh. Oh. Sometimes he gives us the most heartbreaking little meows. Progressing, we now have only one leg and one tail left. I have a degree in advertising. I wanted to help illustrate the core moment of each story. Shall we move on to a story? Okay, guys, stop talking. This is terrible. I'm a terrible LAN parties, right? They were so good. Dude, no, for me it was Heroes 3 because I can't play video games. I did old school Quake 1 and 2 LAN tourneys back in the 90s. My boyfriend says that LAN parties are the reason he is in his current career. There you go. You would be so amazed the number of people nowadays that have their career either thanks to Morrowind or indirectly thanks to Morrowind because of the skills they've picked up modding the game. That makes me super, super proud. Sorry. My motto is embrace the jank, and the jank will embrace you. I do agree with that, Kilgore. It's like, same thing with Morrowind. I don't play retro games as much as you do. But with Morrowind, I think you learn to love the quirks and the jank. You just learn to love it, right? And then it's part of the game, and if it was completely gone, it wouldn't feel quite right. Like getting lost in Morrowind, that's so cliche now. But if we say, okay, well, from now on you have a quest marker, you might use it because it's there and it's convenient, but somewhere, somehow, you would know you've lost something quite special. Mod the jank to Oblivion. Going from Morrowind to Oblivion is a strange jump in landscape and style, and gameplay also, with having to go swoosh, swoosh. And you don't miss, mind you, but you just go swoosh, swoosh, splash, splash. Takes forever to kill people. You've influenced the standard of quality I hold my own mod to. Me? It's a compliment. It's gotta be for me. I miss forums too, and then I remember we talked about it. I need a cushion long enough for the cat to stretch fully. I know, but like I said, you don't make money modding Morrowind. So now Latte has to suffer. This is it. This is how I make a fortune. Nah. I'm quite sure it doesn't matter how long the cushion, like he could have a cushion the size of the table, he would still manage to go on the other table. I'm sure. Don't feel sorry for this little rascal. I promise you, he's not unhappy. I played through the original games without mod, then installed Tribunal and Blood Moon, but never progressed very far. I didn't do any significant modding of the game until I got back into it. Nice. So you get to enjoy the game first, because you can spoil the game for yourself. You know, when you get into that sort of a vicious circle where you install mod, you play the game for maybe 3 hours with a new character, and then it's not what you want. You're not really having fun. So what do? You look for more mods, and then it's just that circle of looking for mods, installing mods, playing for a bit, not being happy, looking for mods, installing mods, and so on and so forth. And then if you're a modder, you add modding into that at different times. Mods can ruin the game, really. Yes, a modder is saying that. No quest marker makes the game so amazing. Absolutely. I still need to finish Blood Moon. Yeah, I finished it. I did. Not Tribunal though. In the interview with TradeWiz, and if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. It's on my YouTube. But he said that they are updating his Softworks expanded mod. They're updating it right now. So he's super busy finishing his game. On the space, that looks very, very promising as well. But there will be an update to Softworks Expanded, so that's something to look forward to. Later, Bethesda, Aurum is saying that. Later, Bethesda games definitely lose something in the pursuit of convenience. Yeah. I think that the difficulty for any game franchise that, has second and third and fourth title, they need to do something that is still going to appeal to the people who played the previous game, but also they have to appeal to new players. Like, they can't make a game for the people who played the previous one. So I feel you get to that sort of weird mixture of taking elements of previous games, and it feels a little fake, maybe. And then having the new gimmicky game mechanic that is going to appeal and look good on the box of the game. I don't know. Maybe it's wrong. Like I'm not even in the business, so what do I know? Yeah. Go on, Letty. Make me money. I'm kidding, guys. Aren't you so jealous that I can pet him? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, back to talking. We're never gonna get to the next story. I hope by now you've read those stories, yeah? I'm not going to read those out loud. I'm sure you've had so much time to read them so many times. So we will go on to the next page. In fact, I can do this. And if I talk too much, then you can look at the story and you tell me which one you want me to read. Let's go with that. Cliff Racers. Yeah, SSE update. Super hype. Looking forward to it. Very, very much. Summerbloom, hello. I adore your mods. I like a good compliment. I basically have all of them. Wow. And look in your streams. Although for some reason I'm having trouble with words for NPC. May I post it on the page? Yeah, definitely. You can post it on the on the Nexus, directly in my Discord or the Modding Morrowind Discord. There's a channel just for my mods, essentially. So anywhere, like I'll read it anywhere. Latte is so adorable. Yeah, my kitties are cuter. Murdercrats, I want proof. I want evidence. Please share a photo in my Discord. Looks so relaxed, you think? You think? But life, so hard. I believe if Bethesda tried to make a game that mimicked the playstyle of Morrowind, they would make a lot of players very happy. They would also lose a large chunk of players as well. Definitely. They cannot cater to the people who love Morrowind because we're old. Like they can't. It's a business suicide, I think. Got some proper skooma that Khajiit. Cover your ears, Latte. This could, no, look at that. This is not skooma. It's moon sugar at most. At most. Okay, story time, because I want to read. A story from Vlad, a guy with a PC, so old that he started playing Morrowind in 2011 just because everyone around was talking about Skyrim. Let's hear that story. In one of my first runs, I visited the Caldera mine to kill some guys for Balmora Fighters Guild. Thieves. Yeah, the Thieves Guild guys for the Baldora Fighters Guild quest, yes. I was looking around for some loot and found some shacks. Inside them, there were some lizarders and furry slaves, and being a knight in shiny armor, I set them free for nothing, just because I can. Many game hours later, oh, yeah, you're right, that might be more comfortable, you think? How is it? It's not bad. There we go. I suppose it's okay. Sorry, story time. Many game hours later, me, glorious veteran warrior with my own manor, almost the leader of the house and Naravarin himself, took an easy peasy quest to set free some kitties and lizard in Caldera's mine. Long story short, I could not do that, because they were already free, so the quest appeared to be broken. As I was a country child with no internet and no clues about console command, it broke my entire run because at this point, the House Redoran storyline was much more interesting for me. Somebody who likes Redoran. Come on. Do you hear that, Danina? Somebody agrees with you. Then something saving another fantasy setting from inevitable doom being a demigod hero. So I just quit the game for years. And I returned only when I was already a university student with another character and another story to tell. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, take a good look at this kitten. I'll be back. There we go. You've missed me. I know you've missed me. Don't be shy. Truth is, I want latte all to myself. That's it. You proved it on Discord. Okay, let me take a look. In pictures. Oh yeah, okay. You do have an adorable bunch. That's the thing with cats. You have one cat, it's extremely cute. You have a second cat, it's extremely cute. And then you put the two cats together and you don't have double cute, you have triple cute. The cuteness of cats multiplies exponentially. That's it. People agree without you plenty, just not about Redoran. I've been to the Redoran Treasury. There's no reason they shouldn't be paying their contractors. Yeah, 3 cats. That's a lot of cuteness. I can tell. All right, let's the story. Okay, have you ever broken your game? Either by doing something that you could but realize that you shouldn't have, possibly by modding your game. A black hole of cuteness. Nah. So story time, guys. Have you ever broken your game? Not, you know, severing the threads of the prophecy. We've all done that. I also broke that Caldera quest because of my slave freeing instinct, right? Sujamas, welcome back. It's so nice. I think something that we must have all done at some point is have the package for Caius Cusatus and then get overloaded and decide to empty stuff somewhere. And when you get to Caius, it's also, you're here for orders and you're like, yeah. And he goes, well, do you have a message for me? And you go, yeah. And he goes, well, you don't, piss off. And you're like, damn it. And then you have to look for it and try to remember where you put it, which is always so much fun. Always very exciting. Try to remember where you put something in the game. Let me catch up with you guys. This book is amazing. Thank you, Seventh Monday. Thank you so much for your work. It's not just me. The book itself is XeroFoxx and Many Sleepless Nights. Danae helped a bunch by proofreading the stories, sorting them out. Alice L helped as well, and Vadenfell Stormsage did the initial layout of the book, and then XeroFoxx created this. Yeah. Hlalu was alright, but then Shadow supporting Camelotong, yeah, but that's a good thing though with Morrowind. No one is truly, clearly a good guy or a bad guy. It's all the nuances that make the game so compelling, I think. Aurum, I did make my first playthrough very tedious later on by deliberately making all Ordinator aggro outside. You mean by wearing their armor, or just like that for the heck of it? Like punch one, run to the next one, punch him, run to the next one. You sold it to Ariel. At least that's the first place you look, I think. I've done that as well. Harvest the armor faster. Did you ever get into the Might and Magic series? Very much so. Might and Magic, I started with Heroes. No. I started with Might and Magic 6. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Spent hours in there. And I love just how long, like bloody long, some dungeons were. There was that gloomy castle, I forgot the name. And you can go there very early in the game. And like, I don't remember how many times I went there just to try. I said, nope, not ready for it. How about now? Nope, not ready for it. I really love Might and Magic, and then I played Heroes of Might and Magic as well, so I like both series. Might and Magic 6, brilliant. Might and Magic 7, really cool. Might and Magic 8, still had enough love. Might and Magic 9, bitter disappointment. But Might and Magic 10, I think, does redeem the series or the franchise. It's actually really good. Heroes of Might and Magic, they're all good, I think. My least enjoyable one, definitely Heroes 6. I've played the whole game. I have no memory of it. If I don't remember a thing about a game I've played, that's because it wasn't memorable. Not because I don't remember things. In the early days, when I didn't know about load order, the game breaking, crash to desktop, so often you are in danger, or breaking the computer in rage. Yes. I mean, honestly, who hasn't gone download, and then unzip, in your data file, unzip, and then select, go, play, choom, boom, dead. Why? Why? It's because you don't install 100 mod without knowing what you're doing. That's exactly what it is. The Ordinator, the Indoril armor, is arguably one of the best looking armor in the game, in the vanilla game, I think. Also, it's very valuable, but it looks good. 6 had huge dungeon, right? Might and Magic 6? Whew. And 7 was still good, but all the dungeons were quite small. So I never got the sense of epic from Might and Magic 7. Though I did love playing, what was the card game in the taverns? I forgot. They tried, no, they did release it as a standalone game, but it was a flop because there wasn't that much to it. But I really did like that card game in the tavern. Like discovering a new town was like, okay, where's the tavern? Where is it? And I did win the tournament eventually. And of course, the fact that you could branch out and go good and evil, so you could actually replay the game, I enjoyed it. 8, Might and Magic 8. Good thing, some of the NPCs looked really pretty. You could have vampires and dragons, trolls if you wanted them. They really want them, but like you had a greater choice of races, possibly classes as well. So that I liked. I don't remember the story. And I remember going into an inn, and there was a clone of me with my beautiful face. It's not mine, it was in the game, okay? And I was like, how can the game let me recruit myself? Because they used the NPC images were also used for the ones you could recruit, and I didn't like that. World of Xen, I could never play it. Like, I think I had like the look of it. Maybe I should have really tried. But you know, the whole step by step, you move in a square. I've done some games like that, but I don't enjoy it so much nowadays. Do you think it's like really worth like pushing a couple of hours to get into it? To get used to the graphics? You did like Heroes 5. I liked Heroes 5. They had some nice DLCs with the dwarves. I did enjoy 5. 6 is just for me bland because I don't remember anything, and 7 is actually quite nice, really good quality of life. 7, heads up, the voice acting is a bit corny. Let's go with corny. The story is corny, the voice acting is corny, but the game is enjoyable to play. Archomage, thank you, Sip. Archomage, that's the one. I learned early on, test each mod. Yes, you have to know what's in your mod. Like see what's in the file, see what conflicts, and we do have really good tools nowadays. Rymash, Mod Organizer 2 are going to see some conflicts very easily for you. Legends of Valor? I don't think I've heard of that game. Archomage is a mixed bag. I agree. Like part of Heroes 7, it was fun. Standalone, not worth it. Not worth it. Oh, I caught up with you, chat. No, I haven't. But I want to read a story, for crying out loud. It's buggy as hell, but I will keep trying to beat it. I don't think I will try then. Because like I've seen you play the games, and gosh, you don't give up. Like whether the game is just plain hard, borderline unfair, like you're still going for it. I don't have the patience. I don't think I do. And the skill, so that doesn't help. Well, do let me know when you're playing it so I can play the game by proxy. That's what happens when I go and watch Kilgo Trout playing some games. I'm like, oh good, you're playing that game, so now I don't have to. Yep. Playing the game by proxy, that's what happens. Gotta say, it's hard for me today with the micro window. Oh, like with the resolution, you mean? I think I missed some of that conversation. That's why I enjoyed the Might and Magic merge mod. Yes! For anyone who really enjoyed the Might and Magic games, like 6, 7, and 8, I forgot the name. Prophet, you might remember it. Just put it in the chat if you do know. There's a mod, essentially, that takes the engine of Might and Magic 8 and then puts Might and Magic 7 and Might and Magic 6. So you can play either of the 3 games in the engine of the 8th, who's arguably better quality of life and the likes. And when you play the 6, you have access to all the classes and all the races that you have in 6, 7, and 8. And even at some point, when you progress enough in the story, you can jump from one game to the other with your party. So that's super cool if you like that. If you like the games, but were like, oh yeah, well, it's like Might and Magic 6, the controls were a bit weird. Try it. It's really, 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 really good. Danae players, there's a good automapping mod for it, which helps a lot. There we go. Mods to the rescue. Mods to the rescue. The graphic style is what it is. I think it's something that you can get used to, though. Like at first, it might burn your eyes a little bit, but then you get used to it. I use... you use boss and loot. I would argue that both are outdated. You want to download mlocks that has a recent fork and that has its list of rules still being updated. I know I added one today. So maybe add mlocks at the end, because like the very new mods, and I'm talking like the last 5 years, are not going to be in boss or loot. Danae plays the Legends of Valor inspired the whole Elder Scrolls series, but it's pretty hardcore. Yeah, I believe that, considering that it's basically like Morrowind was heavily, not Morrowind, but the Elder Scrolls, like D&D sort of thing, and hardcore describes it. I don't know that it's for me. Same thing, if you play it, I'll be there. I'll be there. Well, it's also true that you might just decide to not go into the main quest, just as Morrowind. Understandable. I'm not the only one. You know what? That makes me feel better. Well, hello, Ketan. A good stretch and a good yawn. And here we go. I serve to you latte on a platter. I'm sorry, Ketan. You rest. You enjoy your evening. My mic cannot pick up the purrs, but they are purrs. They're just for me. Cliffworms, hey, hi! Might and Magic 6 has the best character faces. Pick me! Pick me! That's my favorite. Yeah. Say it, Tatfords. Yes, I remember that one. That was the training, right? When you went to train. Might and Magic Merge. Thank you. The World of Enroth is the name of the merge mod. Thank you so much for putting that there. Might and Magic 4-5. Still very... like, I believe it. I don't think they are worse than the other ones. Just need some time to get used to the look of it. Yeah, mostly that. Like, I think Might and Magic 6, even then, even though it was still the movement by square, pivot and thing, it did feel smoother than these older games. Okay, story time. Let's read Dunjib stories. We know Dunjib, Mother. I arrived in Balmora for the first time after a long trek from Danae. It's pouring rain. I have instructions to ask around at the Southwall Corner Club to see if anyone knows where I might find Caius Cosatus. Someone gives me directions. Just outside, up the stairs, and take a left, and sure enough, there he is. Such a task. Pardon? I am getting tired, guys. If I'm starting to throw French words in, Cliff Worms will confirm when we talked yesterday for the podcast episode. When we could feel we were getting tired and we had French words coming out. But concentrate, coffee, that's it. And sure enough, there he is. Such a simple task, but so satisfying. Very true. The first time, my tags say Game Jam. Why would my tag say that? Why? It's gonna stay there for now. Close enough. It's a book. Later, I get asked to retrieve some mushrooms for Ajira in the Mages Guild. Just before I leave, I manage to accidentally offend her through some ham-handed persuasion. When I return with the mushrooms, she wants nothing to do with me. That's when I remember someone told me that Tilvani Bug Musk makes people like you more, and they'll sell the stuff at Fort Moonmoth. Another little trek, and I am back at Ajira's, this time with a bug mask in hand. It's enough to make her take the mushrooms, and finally I can progress with the quest. I'd never experienced true freedom and emergence in a game like that. It just blew my mind. Over to you, chat. How about you? How have you had a series of things happening in your game seemingly randomly or semi-randomly that in fact made a perfect story? Okay, I'm gonna relax a little bit while you try to remember such a story and tell me. Making levitation pants. Yes. In fact, making a whole wardrobe of enchanted items. So at one point in the game, not only are you levitating, you have 100% chameleon as well. You're regenerating your life, your magicka, your stamina, and you're a god. Even if you haven't finished, all the quests where you may or may not become a god, even before that, you're a god. Your clothes say you're a god. What is it, Latte? That's a big yawn. Oh, yeah. Okay. Dentason. Ever since I had this game, I was like 10 at the time and I couldn't read English. I loved having a home and decorating it. Clasius Clanler rarely avoided my rage. Then I would go serve my time and resume living his life. I used to go to Niz's cave home too, pretending to put meat on the grill. Thanks, Merlord, you make my childhood dream come true. Back then, I didn't care about prophecy, and if I rarely left Balmora, I was always eager to find my way back. Balmora is home. There you go, Merlord, you're still there. You're mentioned, you made it in the book. Not with your own story, it's there, but there's actually a mention of you. Lua Mensa magic. Having my guar swipe marshmallow for my grill while I was cooking it, that's so beautiful, but mods are going to do that, and I absolutely adore it. So here you were cooking your marshmallow on your grill with Ashfall, and you had your pet guar from the Guar Whisperers, 2 mods by Mother Obscure, 2 mods by Merlord, and they interacted in a way that even the Mother could not predict. And I love that. I love that when Morrowind just makes things happen. It's beautiful. Time for another page. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna need another coffee and maybe some water, some actual water. Okay. My lord, outrageous, right? But emergent gameplay is something you see quite often, and mods, I think mods do that because you can't, from the moment you start modding your game, you can't really predict things that are going to happen. There's always a part of your game that could go, well, boom, and you lose your game. Honestly, that hasn't happened to me in such a long time. And we joke about the game crashing and having to reinstall everything. That hasn't happened to me in years. But it has happened. It definitely has happened. Let's read the story of Zach. How many more stories do we have for freedom? Do we go on with freedom, or you want to discover stories from another section? Because we've had a number of freedom stories. I think we're going to read Wolfbane's. Wolfbane, if you're still around, not only did your story make the book, it's also going to make the stream. Would you believe it? Merlord, you're saying it is part of the magic of Morrowind. The simple yet powerful nature of the engine makes this kind of thing possible. I agree. I do think that it's possible with Oblivion and Skyrim as well. Like, we just need to play it more to have those things happen. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. All right, Wolfsbane story. Wolfbane. I keep saying Wolfsbane. Can't even read. Latte, you want to take over? No. Okay. I don't have a specific memory. I was quite late to the Morrowind party. I tried it when it came out and was confused and disappointed by the lack of direction. Ironically, since Morrowind's biggest strength is its absolute player freedom. It took several tries and probably a decade before it finally clicked for me. Since then, I've played a vast number of hours with several characters, played through all 3 main quests, modded the heck out of it, and enjoyed it in entirely new ways over and over. So true. Every time you play the game, it's a different story. It's a different way, a different adventure. You can say, okay, for this one, I'm just collecting chitin daggers, like Melchior. For this one, I'm collecting Daedra heart. I don't know. What I want to share is the sheer sense of wonder and freedom Morrowind gives you. Almost no other game or game world gives you the same feeling of having an entire world in front of you and complete freedom to do absolutely whatever you want. The feeling when you step out of the Census and Excise office in Seydonin, the world spreading out before you, and you can do whatever you want and be whoever you want. That's what I want to share with others. And of course, I want to mention the modders, all of you still improving and adding to this magical game and game world 20 years after release. And in particular, the Tamriel Rebuilt team, who have made, no offense, probably the best mod of all time for any game. It's simply staggering the amount of content and high quality and extreme attention to detail in their work. And there was a follow. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. Wandering Alchemist is a really fun playstyle. You eat everything you pick up. No, you can't do that. I think I made the pants have a highly... I want to know your thoughts on Tamriel Rebuilt. If you've played it, when you've played it, because Tamriel Rebuilt 10 years ago and Tamriel Rebuilt now is not the same. I don't think they're really comparable. Thoughts on Tamriel Rebuilt while I'll catch up with you. The next session should be funny. Yeah. Funny moments. But I'm not showing you the funny stories until you tell me if you've played Tamriel Rebuilt. I am so strict. Oh my god, guys. Write your stories. I'll be right back. Right back. Latte, you stay here? Okay. I'm not going to show you latte because it's cleaning, it's grooming. I played the old 1 and 2 maps, but I haven't. Oh, Kalinta, you're in for a ride. You definitely want to get the latest version. Okay, I'll show you what I have. No. Hint, it got Latte's attention. What could it be? What gets a cat's attention? No. Anyone? What gets a cat's attention? I'll have the job bot reward you, or I'll make it rain or something. So proud. It is not catnip. Because first it has my attention before it got... You want to do the honors?
Has the camera seen any of it yet?
I don't think so. I was really, really discreet. Right? Snacks? Yep. Food. Look. Thank you. Look at that. Okay, it's not a real birthday cake, okay? It's just a donut. And they're not 20 candles, but 2. But it doesn't matter.
But you see, it says 2 and 0.
Yeah. Thanks. So let's wish Morrowind a happy 20th anniversary. I would say you can do the honors and blow the candles, and I have faith in you. On 3. I am not going to do it, guys. Are you ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo, you did it. You're amazing. Congratulations. Happy anniversary, Morrowind. Happy anniversary, Morrowind community. Because we rock. Nah, come on. It's okay. It's not ego. It's... You know how I've been saying one day my cat is going to fall off the table? Done. And so now I have a cake and you don't. Because you were not prepared. Also,
check the camera and microphone are still...
Oh yes, he's just pulled everything. I'm back.
And the microphone is working?
Guys, you can hear me? Yeah, the microphone is working. The thing is, he likes to be... I've shown photos, they're on my Discord. He likes to sleep on that tiny bit of my desk. Yeah, I can't eat while streaming. Especially now that I'm talking so much, I'm not even playing. You want a donut? I got one. No, doesn't work, does it? What do you mean, silly kitty? You're licking his tiny balls now. I'm not showing. I'm not showing. Let's be serious for a second. Morrowind is 2. No, didn't you pay attention? There's the 2 and then the 0 of the donut. That makes a 20. Jeez. We haven't read that story, but there's a mention of Darknuts, Greater Dwemer Ruins, also a legendary mod. Chaos approves of the sugary treats. Good. What? Sip? What? Where did that come from? Oh, because of yeah, I guess. Okay, funny moments. This is the second part out of 14. So I promise you still have a lot. You know this this gorgeous illustration, right? You've seen it before. Either because I was raving about Ilona's art that I absolutely adore, or because you've seen Vegetto's mod that used, among others, a number of gorgeous illustrations by Ilona. This is one of them. This is the Neon Vivek. Check out Ilona. You know what? I'm an influencer, guys. We've established that. We have, right? So as an influencer, I'm telling you, do listen to the podcast for the Morrowind 20th anniversary, the 20 years of Morrowind podcast. And there is an episode where I talked with Ilona, and that was interesting because, believe it or not, Ilona has not played Morrowind yet. She's going to play it soon. She promised. She mentioned it a couple of times. She's never played Morrowind, but she's played the Elder Scrolls Online. Now I know, I can feel you physically going, ugh. But, and I didn't put words in her mouth or anything, but when I asked her why she loved Morrowind and the Elder Scrolls Online, I promise you, she said, the alienness of it, it's so unique, like exactly what we would say about Morrowind. So regardless of how some of us may feel about the Elder Scrolls Online, because we compare it to Morrowind, like nothing can be Morrowind better than Morrowind. That's just the way it is. But I think we're like a super, super tough crowd, because someone who's never played Morrowind and plays Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind is going to say the same things that people would say about Morrowind. So I'm sorry, but Bethesda must have done something right at some point, and we have to accept that. There we go. that was me lecturing you, I guess. No, not. But seriously, it was really quite amazing how what she said is what people say about Morrowind, or as Side29 says, Old Wind. A co-worker had a wedding cake that was a tower of donut. I compared it to a croquembouche, and then I had to explain what a croquembouche was. Croquembouche, yeah, it's quite a different thing. We also say pièce montée, and if I hope I'm not mistaken, but it's the one with all those little they're not buns. We call them choux. Those little things when they have caramel around and they're held together. It's amazing. It's super sweet though. Teso is cool for having many provinces. Yeah, I agree with you, Izzy. Like, I really did enjoy things about the Argonian and the Hearst, not sure about the pronunciation. Things that, got me curious about the Argonian. Cinnamon buns? No, I don't think that's cinnamon buns. Could be wrong. We Morrowind player aren't that bad. We can say we can enjoy a good modded Oblivion or Skyrim installed too, but like with lots of mods then. Creme puff. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that translation. Additional illustration for the funny moments. I'm gonna let you read this one. I don't think I can read it out loud. Is it big enough for you to see? Put on your slightly bigger glasses so you can read the story. It's actually quite funny. I can read the beginning. Your cousin has given you a very embarrassing nickname, and even worse, likes to call you it in front of your friends. You asked him to stop, but he finds it very amusing to watch you blush. What do you do? You're getting the... I can't do the voice. I'm sorry. I wish I could do the voice, but I hope you get the little flashback there. These are very good questions for an immigration form. This isn't for immigration. My cousin is just a silly person. I think that was funny. Story time. Funny moments. Let's do this. This is just coffee and milk, okay? I'm not drinking rum or something. I was 10 when I got a copy of Morrowind, and I've never played 3D RPG games before, so playing it for the first time was a pretty confusing experience. I tried to read everything and speak to everyone while I was in Satanin. So when I came to Balmora for the first time, on foot mind you, I already knew that there was some horrible disease that spread across the continent, corpus, that makes people look like monsters. It was a dark and stormy night, and just come to a new town through the gates near the Silstrider. Just as I was trying to figure out where to go next, a horrible monster appeared and started to speak with a very strange voice. Naturally, I freaked out, turned around and immediately attacked it. It was not an easy victim for a level 2 Nerevarine. When I eventually won the fight, I looked around and saw a couple of guards rushing towards me. Oh good, they saw the monster, I thought. A second later, I was killed. Of course, I reloaded and tried again and again. No matter what I did, the guards thought I was wrong. I thought that was because they assumed I was infected too. So I loaded an earlier save and tried to figure out what was going on. That's how I met an Argonian for the first time. In fact, I was trying to kill Hull the whole time, all this time. It was pretty shocking to me, the realization of my crime. So when I got older and discovered mods, I always downloaded the prettiest Balmora home, led Hull there, and left her a couple of thousands of drakes. Aww. What do you think of this one, guys? Oh gosh, I wish I was there. No, I was gonna say I've lost a kitten, but no. He wants to be on camera. Latte, you want to be a superstar. Isn't that right? Lucky you. Wholesome. Nice. Wholesome. I mean, not the part where, you know, he or they try to kill her, but that story just made me giggle more than once, I can tell you that. Poor Hull. I mean, later on, she's got a nice house and Drake, so that's cool. Alright, I'm gonna give you another page. It's not like I'm gonna spoil the whole book, okay? We still have 235 pages to go. Khajiit wants to be the streamer. Yeah. Latte. Hello, boy. You wanna be famous? You have to stream Skyrim to be famous. That is true. That is true. That's where the money is, darling boy. Okay, let's read the story. Hairs. You wanna go? Yeah? Of course. Of course. Love my cat. I can tell you my Hoover has never worked as hard ever since we got the kitten. Who's really growing, Danina? It was you, right? Who asked, oh, he must have grown. And you're right. He's big now. Doesn't fit in his cushion, so we do have the evidence. Okay, let's ignore the kitten. He's definitely bigger. Let's go for people we know. How about that? Rather than reading absolutely every story, that way you can take. Oh, but this one is funny. Oh, but I shared that one before. What do you think? Shall we go story by story or go to the people we know? You tell me, chat. You decide. You got the power. I remember back when I had cats, we had 4 kittens living on one chair. Later, each of them occupied one, and we were looking for sitting space. Yeah, it's a well-known fact. The rulers of the house, not the people. It's the kitten. Pick my favorite. Well, I mean, here, there's my favorite illustration. So, yeah. This one is funny, but if you've been on the modding Discord, I've already shared that one, so you know it. XeroFoxx having fun with the illustrations. People we know, yeah, I think that would be quite interesting. I'm even considering I can't discriminate. Sure, I can. Of course. Spending an hour losing my mind, wondering why the hell Tariel kept falling out of the sky. Yeah. I remember the first time I entered a tomb, I was expecting a jump scare and I was on edge. I heard my mom coming downstairs and I remembered literally falling out of my chair. Moms do that, apparently. Apparently. I don't, can't, oh, it's so pretty. I didn't see the new illustrations that the XeroFoxx added. So, yay. So for the little story, these illustrations, when you have them framed like that, this is a screenshot that was submitted by whoever wrote the story. So it's there, it's an illustration by the people who wrote the story. And then there's the little things. And a lot of them, actually there's two ways to get them. Either there was a screenshot and XeroFoxx very carefully extracted just a little bit of that screenshot to use and illustrate the story. Later on, we were like, genius idea. And later on, I went in a construction set and I would take an item and make a screenshot out of it. And then it was slightly faster for XeroFoxx to use the art the way he wanted. So this is from the construction set. This not. It was a screenshot. People we know. Oh, XeroFoxx. Let's read XeroFoxx's story. But first, I catch up with you, chat. The first time I used True Light and Darkness, I entered a tomb and could only see a few feet in front of me. A skeleton came rushing out of the darkness to attack me, and it literally increased the impact. Especially the tombs. 20 years later, the whispers in the tomb, they just get me on edge. They just do. Those whispers. I can tell I removed all droid from the sea of Morrowind. They make me uncomfortable. They are horrible. I hate them. And then if you install R0's creature and creatorium, I forgot the name, where you get the land drag, like when I see one in the distance, I go, okay, we're gonna go that way. They're just, ugh. Let's read XeroFoxx's story. And we even have the illustration that goes with it. While I adore Morrowind for many reasons, the aspect I love about it most is how it allows for creative, out-of-the-box thinking, which yields constant fresh discoveries, new fun ways of doing things, and best of all, some pretty wild adventures. I still surprise myself with what's possible, what I never thought of doing before, what crazy wild idea I've never thought of yet. One such wild adventure happened quite recently. It all began, as all adventures do, speeding along the countryside thanks to my favorite boots, when it suddenly occurred to me, I shall build myself an army and these boots shall be my ticket to glory. It's not cowardice to run away, is it? I say it's creativity. For that is how I shall build my army. I will run away from all the monsters, bandits, and Daedra of Vardenfell, gathering myself a bloodthirsty band of followers, shepherding them through the swamps, barren hills, and gracelands, all the while they long to feast on my flesh. After hours of careful maneuvering, critical mass had been achieved. My final act of glory shall be to invade Vivec. Like a blaze of glory, my army enters Vivec. I cross the bridge. But alas, I must capture this moment. I save and then take a screenshot to immortalize the victory, which then causes me to get trapped and die consistently. All the best plans have flaws. Can you guess this one? Lastitin, you were saying one of my characters, which I played a lot, every time I started playing, he shouted Tariel's falling out. Don't know why. It was a glorious, I can't imagine. I mean, we can see like at least 1, 2, there's some bandits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's like 14 that I can see. Oh, I forgot to count the cliff races. 15, 16, 17. So we can see at least 20 creatures right there. To get all of them without ever dying. Nice. And I did mention that to XeroFoxx, but I love the boots with the amazing glow because they're enchanted. What a wonderful evil plan. It was like 10% of all the creatures. Oh my goodness. So when you say you spent hours collecting these creatures, you were not kidding. That's nuts. That's completely nuts. Surprised the game didn't crash. The game doesn't crash that often. You had a whole line of them. Oh, of course, they're like turning a corner. And you die for the sake of a screenshot. Morrowind Beastmaster roleplay. Yeah, oh no, latte. Cables are not a toy. Ah, I see. His little mouse toy that he loves. That thing is just shreds. But a good toy is a good toy. I did the same in Soulstime and slaughtered all the gods. Well, Soulstime is hardcore. Anyone got a crazy story? Like, did you do anything like that? Just for the sake of, let's see if I can do it. Let's see if it works. Trying to remember for me. But I don't remember anything I did like that. But now that's tempting. Oh, of course, there's something that is quite nice to do. Not like that exactly, but it's about luring a creature away from where it normally is. Is to get a creature command spell, find the drunken mud crab, and lead him. Sorry, kitten. And lead him, well, to wherever you want him to be. That way you have a nice merchant, like to your home. Why not? So that you have the best merchant right there in your living room, backyard, maybe. Maybe not getting the crab in the living room. Julien, you're saying, one of my earliest playthrough, I went to Mournhall to confront the Dark Brotherhood because I didn't have any kind of expansion delayed mod. Whew, early on in the story, you must have died, which is normal, really. It's normal story. What was your experience playing Morrowind? I died, really, a lot. You don't say. This illustration, guys, we're gonna stay there and admire it for a bit. Love it. Another one by Dominic. Basically, for the section, the big illustration is either Dominic or Ilona, and then we have all the bonus illustrations, and they're nice too. We'll take a look at them, of course. I once created a large area damage spell and a weapon with a big on-hit damage effect and completely depopulated Caldera. I don't remember why. Just because you could, probably. Painstakingly save-scum my way through their base at level 2. Oh my god. Yeah. I think that's something that came up quite often when talking about Morrowind. Morrowind teaches you patience and perseverance. You know, you're a lot of people say that, but it's true. You start, you're a nobody. You're a nobody. Like a rat kills you, a Kwama forager kills you. Come on. And sure, you become a god, and sure, if you know the game, you know where to go, what to get, and you can cheese your level pretty high and become a god pretty quick. But in the meanwhile, you're bottom of the barrel. You're bottom of the food chain, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I vaguely recall reading of someone kidnapping the heart of Loken with common creature. It's like, yeah, it is a creature. Made a speed level potion that was close to 100k. Big mistake. Game could not load fast enough for movement speed. Yes, especially that was something very, very funny on older systems. If you used the scrolls of Icarian flight, and you would start jumping, but then as you go through a cell, there's a bit of a load time, and depending on your system, you would get like frozen mid-flight because you're kind of flying, and then through the next cell, frozen until you feel that you're going down gradually. And let me tell you, that just is nerve-wracking. The first escaping danger story. Yeah, well, we can go. Hang on, Six House. We said we were reading stories of people we know. I love those. Nice. I'll give you a second to enjoy them. I move out of the way so you can enjoy them. The feeling of danger at low level is so, so good. One of my most fun and exhausting and stressful playthrough was my Morrowind Rebirth Goldsmith. I had done something I won't do again. I had completely de-leveled all of my creatures. So at any time of the game, any creature could spawn. I had added giants, the old creature game with dragons and all kinds of OP creatures. So those were there in the world at level 1. Then I had done a random start in Dagonfell. And then I had a special rule that I could not use transport until I had walked to a place first. And the first, I don't want to lie, maybe it was, I'm gonna say the first 3 hours of the game were just, no, it was more than 3 hours. It was more than 5 hours where my task was leave Vardenfell and go somewhere, anywhere, please let me do it. And it was so dangerous. There were all those creatures that I didn't know, didn't remember, that were gigantic or like would kill me on sight. And I spent more time hiding, running and hiding, waiting for the creature to just give up chasing me. It was amazing. Impending doom. Loved it. If moved at all in any direction, I would move like 15 cells in one step. Boom. Yeah, that's crazy. I've left the world. There is this other story that casually mentions how they always slay everyone in Nizis. Was so funny how they just threw that in the comment almost as an afterthought. It's a thing you do. Fargoth, the gods, then the whole town. And then maybe you get bored or you do it again. Yes, OmniZombie contributed a number of art. So there's the Ash Zombie, we have his Bone Lord, that's really cool, his Vivek. There's Zero, you want to say 4 or 5 illustrations by OmniZombie? There's a number of them, and they're gorgeous, really. Light Games is also quite nice, and we have 2 from Light Games. You were making a joke, I don't know. We've been over that easy, you know it, and I think it's part of being a teacher. For me, no question, no comment is too stupid. Like if you say something, I'm not going to assume you're dumb, I'm just going to react to it. So Omnizombie is the name of the artist. All right, story. Now we have more art to feast your eyes upon. More. Scary. Pretty. Sixth house. And here's a story by somebody that we know. Danae, you ready for your story? We learn by asking questions, definitely. I'll tell you that story. It's got nothing to do with Morrowind. In those days, I lived in Slovakia, and I can speak Slovak, but I never actually studied. But I picked up quite a bit living there for a long time. And I went to the gym with a friend of mine, a colleague, teacher. And obviously the instructions are all in Slovak. And I turned toward her and I said, oh crap, I don't remember what's left. And I really meant in Slovak, like what's left and right. And she said, without batting an eye, and very seriously, she said, it's that way. I was like, you're such a teacher. There's no question dumb enough. No. You don't know what's left? I'll tell you. All right, Sixth House by Danae. Let's do this. What stands out for me is my first memory of the Sixth House. I was wandering down the foyada from Fort Monmouth, and I stumbled on a cave I hadn't seen before, Hasor. I hadn't yet started the main quest at this point. I didn't know anything about the main quest story either. I'd cleared out a few bandit caves at this point, so I naturally thought it would be a bandit cave and stepped in. The first thing I noticed is that it was really dark. I couldn't see much of anything. I didn't hear any noise either. I took a few steps in, and all of a sudden my screen lit up really bright with a shock ball. Oh yeah, nasty. That took about half of my health. I literally screamed in panic because this was unlike anything I'd ever experienced in EverQuest or even in Morrowind up to this point. My boyfriend, now husband, jumped a mile out of his chair. Meanwhile, once the shock ball dissipated, I could make out this weird creature with no face lumbering towards me and is casting another shock ball. I'm going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I turned around, fled the cavern, and did not stop running until I was in Balmora drinking a health potion on the way. My heart was pounding out of my chest. My boyfriend was agitated, wondering why I screamed. It took me a couple of minutes to calm down enough to tell him what happened. I'd never had a reaction to a game like that before. I'm pretty sure that was the event that triggered me to look up the game online and find out what that thing was that attacked me. I later learned it was an ash zombie and about the Sixth House. I found the Morrowind summit not long after this, I believe. I was hooked from there. Danae. It is a great story. Like I'm leaving it there. I'm leaving it. I see it, Danae. Your words painted the picture. Come on, guys, be brave. Tell me. First time. Sixth House. This is so disturbing. I think the Ascended Sleepers might be more disturbing. The Corpus, what are they? They're not stalkers, are they? Really gross. This one is just really disturbing. Come, Nerevar. They're so creepy. And I think the fact that the reason why they're so creepy is that they look mostly normal, apart from, the eye thing. Yes, the first time in that manner. Ugh. Ugh. This page. But it's our friend Anonymous writing the story. So nobody that we know will keep that for later. Prof, here we go. There, these. Ugh. Ugh. And like they're so gross, but there's some sort of morbid fascination looking at them. If you've ever seen the symphony replacer for them, ugh, it's horrible. Corporate Stalker, thank you. Thank you. Prof, let's read your story. Now, like, if your name here in the book and if you're in the chat and I don't know your name, then tell me it's you, okay? We'll read the story. I don't know all the names. All right, back in 2002, I was playing the game for the first time. I was on the quest to find a woman's missing skooma-addicted husband in the Vivek underworks. I had already encountered one or two wandering addicts in the tunnels, saw a figure shambling in the distance, and thought he was another of the same. I approached him from behind, preparing to talk to him, when my cursor drifted over him and I saw a corporate stalker. That was the first I had ever encountered in the game, and I had frantically backed away, flailing my weapon widely. I can see it. I can see it. I mean, that's how it is in my head at the very least. Flailing my weapon widely, trying to keep it away. I learned much later that they aren't actually contagious. Yeah, but you know what? You know what, Prof? I'm with you there. Run first, ask questions later. So that's the corpus beast. What's the name of this creature, guys? Corpus beast? I'm a pro on this game. I don't remember anything right now. They look terrible. Beautifully terrible. Lame corpus, thank you. Dear me, dear me. Anonymous, still anonymous, you can enjoy the 6th house indoor decorating skills. Isn't there a chance in the base game to get a corpus infected by a creature? I don't think so, you see. Though, to be fair, I nearly broke people's game when I made my corpus cliff racers, because I said, oh, well, if they're corpus cliff racers, they should be able to give you the corpus, and then that would break the game. But that was a mod, and that was mine, and I apologize for that. Oh, there's one in the game? Good, it wasn't me. Okay. Surprising moment. Beautiful, gorgeous, amazing Dwemer ruin in the Bitter Coast by Dominik Stankovic. Again. Yeah, the blighted creatures give you blight disease, but then the corpus creatures don't, because it would break things. I need to hop out now for a bit. XeroFoxx, thank you. I want all the love again in the chat for XeroFoxx before he goes. Now, quick, he's gotta go. All the love. Because what you're seeing, that's his work, blood, tears, sweat, and lack of sleep. Yes. And this image is great too.
Love is in the air.
It truly is. All right, XeroFoxx, if you didn't believe me when I told you, I hope you'll believe, you know, all those people here. This is beautiful. What Merlot said. Extra illustrations. Now, I know you're thinking, what surprising moments? Softworks? What? Play Tribunal. People who know why that's a surprising moment say nothing. Oh, look. This Softworks' name is Omnizombie. I don't know. This Softworks is just the right amount of ugh, like that. And this is a frightful thought the moment you try to imagine. Yeah? Me too. I've never met him. Unfortunately, I know enough of the game to know what happens. Oh my god, Merlord, you don't know? There are a couple of stories in there that might spoil it for you. So now you have to play the whole of the Tribunal quest before you get to read the stories. Sorry. That's just the way it is. Yep. Oh, the creepypasta, but this one is so long. Oh, but then also it's Markon. Markon, you're around, right? Well, let's do this. I was going to be a little lazy and say, well, that's a long story. It's better if you enjoy it on your own. The story is great. The story is great. Let's do this. And after it, I'm going to go get some water. Unless I try something. Oh, I wish I had some water. I sure am thirsty. Might work. Drac, I see you're in the chat. Did you want to share a story? I know you have one in the book, and we'll get to it. But if you want to say something, yeah, hydrate is not a thing anymore. Hey.
Greetings indeed.
Hello, hello. We can hear you. Let me give you a little bit of boost. There we go. So people can hear you. All right. Have you seen some of those stories so far?
Just a bit.
No, you're in for a treat.
If I were to share a story, it would probably be my first time playing Morrowind. Takada had been showing me about, guiding me in my first few steps, and ended up just outside the tomb near Saint Denis where you find Mentor's Ring.
Spoiler!
And I was just turning about, and all of a sudden he says, "Oh God, run." I turn about, and there's a corporate stalker climbing out of the water. Being an extremely new character, I was in no shape to take one on. I had no idea what was going on. So, of course, I took off, and then found myself dodging all of the vines that are hanging down from different trees.
They don't have collision, do they?
Well, no, but they strongly resembled an item from another game. I believe it was Unreal, where there were creatures that would cling to a ceiling and extend long tongues downward. Anybody that stumbled into one would be drawn up and promptly chomped. That was a creepy enough situation that it stuck with me through several games.
Nice. So extra fear, extra fright. Half-Life had those as well. People are saying. A cool bit of emergent horror indeed. Thank you so much for sharing the story, Drac. That's a fun one. And we might not get to the point in the book where your story is, but it is there. So when you download the book, you'll find it there.
I'll definitely be looking for it.
And for people, I'm sharing the link again. I haven't advertised the link on social medias and stuff. It's just for you guys. It's just for you. Thank you so much, Drac. Let's continue. But no, let's start with this creepypasta story. I don't know, my lord. Maybe it was just an accident, but it's a lucky one. Or unlucky, I don't know. This is what I call my Morrowind modding creepypasta story because it sounds like a poor attempt at writing horror and nobody ever quite believes me it happened, about it happening. This is about a very unusual bug I briefly encountered some time ago. For context, by then I was using a mess of an install, too many mods to name, including a certain mod pack that people frown upon these days. Anybody knows which one we're talking about? Which I have used and enjoyed, by the way, but let's move on. But the main two mods of note to these stories were Julian, Ashlander Companion by Kateri and Emma. Oh no, just Kateri, sorry. And graphic extender with the distant land dialed up a lot too high. 13 cells high, a perfectly cliched number for this sort of thing. It had been 17 cells not long before, but the fans on my graphics card were making a noise I'm certain would have had air traffic controllers giving it clearance for liftoff. I wish I could say it was a dark and stormy night when it happened, but it was a shockingly clear midday sun from the furthest northern edge of Sheogorath. My main method of travel was a combination of water walking, boots of blinding speed, and Tinur's hop-toad, all capped off with a very generously overtrained acrobatic skill. Somewhere along the way, traveling like a caffeinated flea, I realized Julian has somehow gotten lost. Nothing too odd with that, so I tried his built-in telepathy ring and asked him to recall to me. No effect. Retracing my steps, I found him standing on a beach not too far back. 13 cells are exactly enough that Red Mountain is always visible, which gives it a weird sense of impending doom. It is always just there, combined with a heartbeat hiding behind every ambient track. It's delightfully thematic. Julian was staring up at Red Mountain. Stranger still, he couldn't be spoken to, or damaged by blade or spell. He didn't turn his head in any way like an NPC ought to when near a player, and he had no idle animation. Clearly broken, I used the ring again, which would hopefully jolt his AI packages back into order. It did not. He teleported slightly closer to me, but was still staring, completely transfixed by Red Mountain. Then he started walking. He set off down the beach into the water and just disappeared somewhere beneath the waves. I don't mean water walking or swimming. He just walked along the bottom of the ocean until he left my draw distance. Ring recall attempt number 3. It got some of Julian back. What I got was his shadow, or rather him completely textureless black except for the glow-mapped red eyes. This time, he was not staring at Red Mountain. I think I would have preferred it to him staring at me. Even moving around, he kept perfectly locked onto me, still completely unanimated. Ring recall attempt number 4. It has a condition. If you attempt to use it after Julian has died, it instead says something to the effect of, "You will need a necromancer to communicate with Julian now, he's dead." That is not something you want to read when the red-eye shadow of said dead person is giving you their undivided attention. That was the point where I cut my losses, quit and reloaded an earlier save. I really wanted to just play and didn't have time to deal with a slightly haunted game. We already have one unholy thing in the game with Daggerthor. We really don't need another. In a very typical horror story fashion, the handful of paranoia saves I had been making whilst prodding at this issue all refused to load. Instant CTD. I had to roll back all the way to the Voss and get the boat to Dagenfell again. The real horror was that I lost about 20 minutes of travel and failed to find what I was in Sheogorath for. I think it might be Bethesda's title in general that are haunted, not just Morrowind. I've had my Skyrim mildly haunted too. Horrifying, you know this bug, you've seen that. The NPC, no animations, I've seen that. The NPC that just walks on, I've seen that. But the textureless thing, I've never had that. One day, like I'm not worried. One day it's going to happen. Freaky, right? I think we'll put that under emergent gaming, probably. What do you think? Right, water. Yes. Especially red eyes. It's like, of all the glow map things, the red eyes would be the worst. I'm skipping the story. It's Kingcraft, who's actually a really great Let's Player and streamer. But it has a spoiler about the Tribunal main quest, and I don't want to spoil it for Merlord. So Merlord, if you can hear me, take a note. Do not read page 69. Okay? It's amazing when the game scares you. It's glorious. I'm trying to remember the stories. That's my story. You know what? We're not going to read my story because you guys are here on stream and you were there when they happened. So yeah, I'd rather read people's stories that you haven't seen. Okay, but you can read it later, obviously. Do read it. You'll have a pop quiz on Monday. Death. Now, this art, even though the style is so incredibly different, is also by Ilona. And I love it. I mean, it's horrible. Like, you know, it's scary, not horrible. It's scary and a little gruesome. But it is also so beautiful. This is Citis by Ilona. I am not moving on to the next page until you say it's beautiful. I'm taking my job as an influencer ever so seriously. Prof, you're saying there was a dungeon mod that included an item that caused the tomb whispers to follow you after you picked it up. Oh my god. This is freaky but beautiful. Good. We can move on to the next page. You know what that reminds me of, Prof? Sound of Souls, a mod by Null Cascade, if I'm not mistaken, where when you soul trap a creature, if you're close to the soul gem, like it's on a table and you got close to it, or if you're carrying the soul gem that has a soul in it, say it has the soul of a ghost, then there's a random chance that you're going to hear the ghost moan. It's the moan sound, I think. And so the first time I played with the mod, and I was like, I'm hearing a creature, there's a creature following me. And it took a while to realize I had a soul gem with a soul in it. I don't think I noticed it. Somebody told me. Love it. When you install mods, but you forget about them and then things happen and you're surprised by them. The Eastern religious image of inspiration, it's gorgeous. And what I love about Ilona is that her art sort of goes through phases or waves. Do check her portfolio. If you want the link, again, podcast episode with Ilona, you'll find the link, or make a search, Ilona illustration. She's on Twitter as well. And there's the pointy people period. There's the full colors, like the neon Vivek. What? I'm going too fast. Like the neon Vivek. And this is one of the more recent ones. Lots of people forget they have that mod installed apparently, right? But it's brilliant. It's creepy. It's amazing. Love it. All right, more death illustrations, both of them by OmniZombie, and the look that Ogrim. I mean, you know, Ogrims in Morrowind, they're just big and clumsy. They look round, they look goofy and big. So they're not the scariest of creatures in Morrowind. But this one, you know what? This one,
Take arms!
I
Drive
love.
back these creatures!
I'll back off. Hey, Bulu, welcome on in, guys. Lovely to see you. You were playing the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Yes, best game ever, especially today. There's one day to play Morrowind. This is today. Welcome on in, Raiders. As I'm saying that, I haven't played Morrowind today, and I will not play it today. Oh my god, I am a disgrace to the Morrowind modding community. And there I am saying, oh yeah, you should play Morrowind, especially today. Thank you, yes, do, please kill those cliff racers. The horror of cliff racers. Alright, so these are two beautiful illustrations by OmniZombie. I think the easiest way to find OmniZombie, if you want to check out, he doesn't do only Morrowind illustrations. Take a look on Reddit. You'll find his stuff quite easily, and it's great. Kalinta, you're saying I always am surprised when I see an Ogrim in game. Yeah, like in the game. Tell me what you think. I think the Ogrim in Morrowind, they're round and goofy and clumsy. Okay, they're big, sure, and they'll kill me. Okay, but I can't really take them seriously. I don't know. The other one that I can't quite take seriously is the Daedroth, but hang on, the Daedroth in Oblivion. You know, in Oblivion you have that sort of beefy lizard man, and I'm sorry, but I think the Morrowind skinny, gnarly lizard person is way more scary in Morrowind than in Oblivion. That could be, yeah, no, the nipple ring, I don't think it's really there, but it's got those interesting piercings, like all the way through, all across his chest. Lovely, yeah. I'm not sure what they do with that. Toothpicks, you know, when you go like, where is it? Solution found. Thank you for killing all the cliff races. And everyone from Bulu channel, welcome on in. Very lovely to see you. I must have seen Pudding Craze. Hey, hi, it's been a while. I don't have the image in my head. It's not there. How are they? Scarier than Morrowind? For the people who just joined us, today we are taking a look at a beautiful book that has been put together by XeroFoxx, Danae, Alice, Vardenfell Stormsage, and myself. It's 200 pages with beautiful illustrations, with funny stories, scary stories, emotional stories, and you can just download it. Just download it there. That's it. They wear armor and wield battle axes. Green lizards with big. I don't know. It doesn't sound like. I mean, certainly deadly, but not creepy and scary. Cereal mascot. Okay, so definitely not the same vibe, is what you're saying. Oh, this is Stripe's story. I don't think I've seen Stripes in the chat today, but we'll read his story anyway. I should morrowind.thenet.sk. That is where you can get the mod, guys. It's there. There's nothing on the website but this. No cookies, no paywall, no ads. It's just take it. No virus. Maybe I'm selling it too hard. This is gonna sound suspicious, but the book is there. Death. Let's read it. Sounds like they were based on Deity Lizardmen, but that's what Daggerfall was. Like it was D&D without the step. And Morrowind less so, because New world, new exciting world. All right, let's read Stripe's story about death. We already have an idea of what could cause death. The textures for Ogrim in vanilla textures folders are called Clanfear. Clanfear Daddy. Yeah, or Daddy Clanfear. Yeah, it's a Clanfear Daddy. Come to Daddy. Which is quite funny. D&D serial number filed off. Yes. Okay, quick. I won't say it. I won't say it. But it was definitely an inspiration. And to be honest, like take all the games, all the fantasy games. How many, like if you don't find elements of D&D, you're going to find elements of Tolkien's, and even Tolkien's and D&D, there's a lot of overlapping. Like we have the staple creatures and races and classes. There's only so much we can invent. Okay, death story. Let's do this. The first time I saw Morrowind, I was at a friend's house and they were playing it on Xbox. I was instantly impressed. There was nothing else like it on Xbox. The setting, the open world freedom, leveling up by using skills, making custom spells, haggling over prices, etc. Just wow. So anyway, they let me play and they had me go find the Dwemer puzzle box. I get to the bridge and I see this NPC, Snowy Granius. I go over to talk to him and bam, he kills me instantly. Lol. Reload. I charge at him, destruction spell ready. He spawns a skeleton, so I attack it and he kills me. Reload. This time, I charge him, ignoring the skeleton. I get a hit in and bam, the skeleton kills me. Reload. Okay, I'm gonna need a plan. I look through my inventory and spell list and see this ancestral guardian spell. Yes, just like American football. I'll get a blocker and head for the center zone. I charge in, he spawns a skeleton, I summon my ghost, the skeleton goes after my ghost, I run past them, hit Snowy with my distraction spells and kill him. Yes, I did it. Then 3 cliff racers swarmed me and I died. Who's been there? Who's been there multiple times? Gosh, how many of my characters were killed by that idiot? Lately, I have developed a strategy and it feels so good. Now, what you see here is not actually in game. That's a construction set shot where I took the bridge and I took elements of it and I was sharing my screen with XeroFoxx and it was like, okay, no, move this a little bit to the left. Now change the perspective. So that scene was reconstructed in the construction set in an empty cell, so it was nice and clean. But in the game, actually, this cart is to his right. Those barrels are more behind, and there might be other things. So what I do with my character, I charge, and I run on the cart, and I jump, and I just dive, and I kill him. Sometimes. Oh, get an attack. Oh, he's going for my... Yeah, okay. The best part about having a kitten in the house is that when he comes around my desk, I have this incredible urge to tidy everything. That's how it is. Because whatever is not nailed or hidden away in drawers is going to end up on the floor. Isn't that right, Latte? Isn't that right? Emptying the glass, so if it pushes it down. Okay, come. At least show yourself. Look. Ooh, no, kitten. Say hello. Just let me go. Go. Now, Latte has a contract. I pay him for 10 minutes of camera time and I'm over the time. And now you know. And all my students know when we have a lesson, I have that big stupid smile on my face It's not because I'm impressed with their French grammar. It's because my cat is right there and I can't help but smile. Is it supposed to get better when they age? I don't think so. I don't think so. They should remain playful and happy kittens. Adventurous, curious, within limits. So that Snowy Grandeur story and cliff races, I think we've all been there, right? Snowy has probably killed more starting characters than any other NPC. I think for me it's between him and the mage in the Smuggler's Cave, Merlin, you know the one close to Danae. You know that mage with that first spell is a weakness to magic or weakness to fire, and you go like, ha, I got nothing, and then you get the second spell in your face and your hit bar goes boom, dead. And then you can mod the game, and he doesn't do that. In my game now, he's got a poison spell, Adamastarus. Yeah, Adamasartus, that's the one. I know it. I just don't say it out loud. Thank you, Danina. But that guy also has killed so many level 1 characters of mine. So it's between those two for me. I don't know. What is the NPC that kills you? NPC or creature, actually, that kills you a lot? There's Snowy. I'm sure for you there's also that mage in Adamasartus. My usual does my character has enough? Yes, it's like, okay, I feel good about this character. Let's see if I should or not. You cheat to kill Snowy. Oh, the other one is Boss Crito. Boss Crito, a bit further, you know, you continue on the bridge, take a right, pull the thingy, go in, go down, up. Boss Crito is a tough fight because he packs a punch and you're in that tiny room. So unless you have a slightly beefy, tanky character, he one-shots you. Unless you come, you know, later on when you have a higher level. But any sort of glass cannon mage type thing, you better cast your spell first. Otherwise, game over real quick. I play mages a lot, so anything that can reflect kills me. Oh, did we read Dominic's story? No, it's an exploit. Dominic's story, I think, will resonate with you. The two Kagutis on the road to Saran used to kill me a lot, yeah. There's also the mating Kagutis. That's the one you mean? That's the mating Kagutis? Luce, you play with Alice's mod that add blighted Kwama workers. Yes. Yes. I have died a number of times trying to get those one. Okay, I see the ones. Trying to get Tetra, the Paguar by Tizo. And it's in a Kwama egg mine close to Seidanin. It's like easy to get. Not with my setup. I die. I died to stupid blighted Kwama foragers. I'm like, well done, mods. It was such a brilliant idea to install them. I absolutely love it when my mods kill me, basically. I think it's great. Let me catch up with you guys. The one in Seidanin, Ebenhard Road. Yeah. Okay, that's the same mine I was thinking about. In vanilla, the mating Kaguti and aggressive Netch have both murdered a good few of my characters. True. Those Kagutis are brutal. When you come back 5 playthrough later, like, oh yeah, I remember this quest. Famous last word. I got this. I am experienced now. I have played the game for 20 years. I know it inside out. Level 1, rat, dead. Maybe not, but no. Leave my Morrowind birthday donut alone. Okay, now I'm putting things back on the left. So where it is. You're being adorable. It's not gonna save you. So yeah, you get lattice butt. You're welcome. Latte has a weird obsession for my cups of latte. Weird? Normal. Ah, look at that. The stories are anonymous, and we said we would read stories of people we know. But just look at this background. And now I remember what I wanted to do. On the webpage with the book, we'll do that later, not today, because, well, it's 11 in the evening. It's been a very, very long day. But tomorrow, as soon as we're able, on the download page, there will be an extra download button, so you can download these backgrounds. Ever since XeroFoxx made them, I've had them as wallpaper. You know, like a slideshow wallpaper on my computer. Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you for being with me, Latte. If you hear weird noises, it's Latte being real close to the microphone. The Adamaster Sky. My first character was an Altmer apprentice, weakness to Magicka. Ouch. I got one shot in half a second, reloaded, tried to be faster, got one shot again. Eventually I started spamming summoning to him to make him finish Magicka, but I finished Magicka as well, and I died to him in melee. I think at like the 6th attempt or something, I could finally kill him by spawning a summon, getting near at the same time. Leave my donut! Then died immediately. My name is Philip. Hey, hello. Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Okay, so we put this back here. There we go. You're very welcome, Colin. So this, it's not on the download page yet, but it will be there tomorrow. We'll add it because the backgrounds alone are beautiful.
When you say we,
I meant you. What can I say? My boyfriend is amazing. And this is Nizis, of course, with a Sill Strider port. The really big, that would be the temple, but it's modded. That's why it's got the extra bit there. That would be Beautiful Cities of Morrowind Nizis, I think. Shayla Jenkins, thank you for the sub on YouTube. And Variel, thank you for showing me the name. Anonymous, Nick, Quinn, no one. You tell me if you recognize someone. Like I don't know absolutely everybody, but you can see the pretty pictures. Who had a good death story? Alva the Wanderer has a nice story, and we know Alva from the Morrowind modding Discord. So let's do this. If only I had water.
if only. Look at this donut.
I trade you the donut for a full glass of water.
It's desperate. The water is much, much cheaper.
I'll have 2 glasses of water. The second one at a later time that will be specified later. Told you, lucky. Okay, let's read that story. My most vivid memory connected to Morrowind is the first time I decided to play it. It was around 2014 and I thought I'd give vanilla Morrowind a go after I discovered that Dragonborn DLC wasn't the only instance of Bethesda Morrowind content. In the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, I loved Solstheim and all my characters eventually got stuck on the island. I didn't even know that Solstheim was a part of Morrowind province at the time, thank you. My case is less common because I came to Morrowind from Skyrim. I was quite impressed with how decently the graphics had aged on such an old game, and the water shader's magnificence had been embedded in my memory up to this day. My first character was an Altmer male. It's going to be a story we know. I sense. I exited the Census and Excise office as a confident freshman, conducted my first investigation, thoroughly enjoyed the Sill Strider cry. It was good to see more of them. I knew Skyrim era only had one remaining, and got slaughtered by the Adamar Sartus mage because not only had I chosen an Altmer, but also picked the apprentice signs for him. Rest in peace. I realized it was I realized it was evening only when it got dark, and I had only planned to play for a couple of hours. It took me ages to find Caius for the first time. Us Skyrim kids, who are used to having a compass and quest markers holding our hands, take a lot of getting used to games like Morrowind. I spent 2 hours in real time looking for him while in Balmora. I'm a little bit jealous of that. My first day in Morrowind was concluded by nearly getting a heart attack in Vivek after I'd been informed that there's a killer on the loose, and an ordinator growled, "We are watching you, scum." Sorry, I can't do a good ordinator. Just imagine the sound right into my ear. Morrowind will always be my favorite Bethesda game, with Oblivion being a close second, and I'm fairly certain even Bethesda themselves will not be able to recreate that magical atmosphere again. Long live the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, its fanbase, and its modding community. Cheers. I'll have water and drink to that. The paralyzed trap, brilliant. I believe there's a few stories about that as well. Okay, Dagothagonim, also a modder, but I'm fairly certain he's not in the chat, so we'll move on. Hello, doggy. Papillon, also a modder. Let's read that one. It's not too long. I might be getting tired and going for the slightly shorter stories. I remember having the Morrowind paper map on my wall and using it to find where to go next for a quest. I also remember killing everyone in the rich Hlaalu mansion in Balmora. We talked about that. And using it as a display mansion for my loot, armor, weapons, books, etc. I got killed so many times by rats, slaughterfish, and glyph racers that it wasn't funny anymore until it got funny again. Lol. I have a lot of memories from the Morrowind community on Planet Elder Scrolls, Bethesda forum, etc. Thank you, Morrowind, for those wonderful, fun years. A whole 20 of them. The trap, there's a couple of traps that are so simple, but they can kill you under the right conditions. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Anonymous, admire the beautiful art. You'll have time to look at it again, but just that. You will recognize this style. By now, I'm pretty sure you will recognize that's Dominic again. Fort Moonmoth this time. Oh, this has been fixed in the version that you download, okay? I have a slightly older one. So you can't see the Telvanni war magus. Magus? Here comes looting. It's getting quite late and I can feel myself getting tired, and that's not going to be fun to listen to me, especially as my voice is croaking more and more. So now I'm going to try to remember a couple of stories that I want to share with you. So close your eyes so you don't see the illustration. You don't need to. There we go. As I'm scrolling through, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. I can't read. I see a V. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for the follow. I am just scrolling to... but look at that. More art by Dominic. Very rare for him to do an interior. Like, he usually does exteriors and landscape. And it's gone. More art. Okay, modding story. Oh, let's go with Sea Love story. I think it's a very relatable one. It's long, but it's very relatable. What does Morrowind mean to me? They look good, don't they? What does Morrowind look good to me? Told you. In short, everything. Well, maybe not everything. There is more to life than just Vattenfell, I suppose. But man, this game, It's one of my favorite games of all time, if not the favorite. Hard to tell, I can't just swap aside Ocarina of Time. That's a strong contender. And one that I have been playing the longest. I bought a copy all the way back to 2002, shortly after it was released. Little did I know that this was only available in English at the time and quickly turned into a major obstacle since my school English wasn't really up to par for the amount of text and complexity that Morrowind confronted me with. So after installing it and somehow making it through the character creation process, I was entirely lost. I had no idea where to turn or what to do. I didn't understand what the game wanted from me. So I started running around through the wilderness, came across a weird-looking creature that I now know to be a quirk, was attacked by it, tried to fight back by swinging that iron dagger, and that iron dagger we all know and love, kept missing the target and died right there. That's when I decided that playing the game in English maybe wasn't such a good idea. I uninstalled it, returned it to the store the next day, and waited a couple of months until the German localization was released. I bought it, played it, and fell in love. We know the story. Yes, we were at looting, but they were all anonymous stories. And I'm getting tired, so I want to show you a little more before I lose my voice. Moving on. I played the game all throughout the 2000s and then lost sight of it a little. It must have been 2014, I think, that by accident I came across some screenshots of the game somewhere on the internet. I don't remember how or where. I only recall thinking that those screenshots didn't look at all like I remembered the game. Why was I able to see so far into the distance? Why were the colors so crisp? Why was there so much detail? So I did some research, and that's when I learned of a thing called MGSO. Now, there will be some that might roll their eyes in derision, and I get it. Don't use MGSO, especially not in 2022. But in 2014, and knowing nothing about modding, it was a revelation to me. I just had to play the game what it looked like it did on those screenshots. So I finally got the English version of the game for good. My English had improved significantly since 2002. Installed MGSO, and once I fired up the game, I fell in love all over again. Ever since then, I have kept in touch with Morrowind. Shortly after playing the game with MGSO for the first time, I came across Dark Elf Guy's Morrowind Modding Showcases channel, which would turn out to be another major influence on me. Not only did it help me find new mods to play, but it also got me to a point where I started making my own mods. At first, just for myself, but I eventually released a mod to the Nexus in 2019. Modding has been a major part of my life ever since, even in times when I don't mod myself because I like to keep track of what other people are working on and releasing. I haven't been playing Morrowind as much as I used to since I got into modding, but that's okay. I'm sure I will find the time at some point. My fingers are itching. In fact, I do yearn to see Satan again and to hear that iconic Syl Strider scream echoing through the Bitter Coast. Ah, good times. There you have it. Sealov, who's made some of the most gorgeous dungeon mods in the past year, and if you want to know more about them, then watch Dark Elf Guy's modding showcases, because it's absolutely in love with Sealov's mod for a very, very good reason. So I think it's funny how, you know, it came full circle. Have you had something like that? Like, was Morrowind, like you played Morrowind for the first time and you knew it was like this game, I will keep on playing it for 20 years or 10, or, you know, depending on when you started playing. Like, did you know from the first time you played the game? Or did you have something like Sealov where you were like, I'm not sure, and it's years later you came back to it and it sort of hit you just how amazing the game is. Pretty curious. Was it from the beginning, love at first sight, or did you need more time, different opportunity, more, I don't know, maturity? I don't know. Tell me. Did you love it straight away, or did it need to mature? Loved it since day one. What about the others? Don't be shy. How is it for me? I loved it since day one, but if there hadn't been mods, I am not sure that I would be playing it so much. Like, I would have played the game and enjoyed it, but I don't know that I would have gone back into it again. It grew on me pretty quickly. Fair answer as well. Loved it as soon as I saw my friend play it, but I had to wait about a year. Torture. So you had a computer that could play it. 10 hours in, team first sight, like 10 hours in, that's love at first sight. Though it always, I was going to say baffles me, but that's not true. I think it disappoints me when I see a game. There's this website that tells you how long it takes to complete a game, and I see like 3 hours. Like 3 hours? Like, why would you buy a game if you play the game in 3 hours, 10 hours, and 50 hours? Like, honestly, if a game doesn't give me at least 50 hours of gameplay, I'm not sure it's worth buying. And, you know, especially compared with Morrowind, where I don't know how many thousand of hours. Sorry, I have, if not playing the game, then modding it. I don't know. I don't know, like 10 hours in Morrowind is nothing. It's like, it's just getting to know the game. It's the tutorial, essentially. I really enjoyed it when I first played it, but it's the mod, there we go, that are the appeals since I came back to the game. I feel that way too. Even though I know that I'm spoiled now, I don't know that I would be able to do a vanilla playthrough. And when I say vanilla, I'm willing to do vanilla playthrough with open Morrowind that already improves, you know, has some built-in quality of life improvement. I don't want to do like an Xbox playthrough. When I see people playing Xbox, like I'm really impressed with the patience they have navigating the menu, and I'm like, I couldn't do that. I mean, maybe I could have, but I don't have to, and I'm glad I don't. My first time was with graphic mods, which does help. Like, honestly, Morrowind the first time can be a little. Aaron Dominion. I haven't seen Aaron today. We have a short story. I'm gonna read Abbott's story because it's that much shorter. I'm getting so lazy. But let's take a look. I remember when I first played Sword of Perithia, Total Conversion, which made me think, wow, one person can do all of this, and open the construction set for the first time. And now I'm thinking, whoever did Sword of Perithia, Total Conversion for Morrowind, thank you. Thank you. Morrowind without Abbott's mods wouldn't be the same. Wouldn't be the same. Like being able to wear an amulet and it shows on my character and the NPCs. Must have. The birds, of course, and the fish and everything. Yeah.
The cat has found a new spot. Can you spot him?
The cat has found a new spot. Where is the cat? Sorry, I have to. We played this game. Spot the cat. Right. Can I see him from where I am? Is he on your lap? On the bag? On the keyboard? No, I can't see him. Where is he? He's just grinning from one ear to the other. Where is he? Lati. I don't know if my camera is long enough that I can show you. It's on my computer. It's nice and warm, and it's got that gentle vibration. It's a lovely massage. Get down. You're putting your hairs on my computer. You don't think it's got enough dust already? Just don't. Guys, if I suddenly disappear, it's because my cat has been pressing the power button a little too long and just shut. I mean, he really could do it. Okay. If I disappear, guys, know that I love you. I appreciate you being here. And I'll see you next week. If I disappear, just know that. But get on. It's just too adorable. I don't know. You could be chewing on my hair and I would still think it's adorable. Just don't do it, okay? Just don't, try to prove me wrong. If you were living in an empty room, a cat would find a place to hide. That's very likely. That's like when one of Charm Baron's cats crawls into his server rack. Ooh, that must make him a little nervous. Your cat can disappear for a day or two at once. That would be a grown-up cat. Oh, it went down. All right. Okay, try to catch my chair. I'll just have to remember to not roll a bit or not roll at all. Right, so I'm hiding the book again. Sorry. I want to find... Oh! No, that was just the next page. I didn't go very far. We have two people that we know very well. We have Mickey and Code Ring or Comic Ring. If you haven't kept up with the name updates. Let's read Mickey's story. I can't do it with any sort of Irish accent, so I won't even attempt it. So close your eyes, and as I read, think of Mickey, hear his voice in his head, okay? In your head, not his, yours. You know that guy, you heard of him? What did you hear? Good stuff? Bad stuff? One of my fondest memories of Morrowind is messing around and figuring out the construction set as a child. I made so many horrible caves with all the assets horribly stitched. Hey, Mickey, you are on the Morrowind modding Discord. Do you want to hop on the chat channel and read your story? Please? It would be so much better than anything I say right now with my crooked voice. Would you? Yes. The voice chat is way down at the bottom. Yay! I'm sure you guys are as happy as I am. No, just join and read. No, say hi. Don't be rude.
The cat is back on the computer.
Okay, if I disappear, I still love you guys. Quick, Mickey. Before my cat... Hi! Thank you for joining in. Tell us your story, please.
1 second, I was hearing both. My story, I guess I'll read my thing like a bit of an audiobook. Or...
Yep, exactly that.
One of my fondest memories of Morrowind is messing around and figure out the construction set as a child. I made so many horrible caves with all the assets horribly stitched together with no order, but I was pretty happy with it. Sorry, I'm changing the script. I remember being ecstatic when I edited the text of an in-game book and was able to add my own lore and backgrounds for characters. I was ecstatic. It took me forever to figure out how to write books, even though all you have to do is what.
It's horrible. It's like that.
Being like a thing. Oh, it's weird.
It's like that partial HTML. That's just so bad.
It's weird. I wrote like a small message and I don't even remember what I would write, but I would just delete books and then write small things like dumb hello world stuff. Also, can't forget trying to find the drummer puzzle box for the first time. I was in that first dungeon for hours before realizing the box was so close to the entrance. My emotions were a mix of joy and frustration, as I remember well. That's just Morrowind in a nutshell, joy and frustration.
Yeah, that's it. You learn to love even what's supposed to be really bad.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for reading that story. I couldn't have read it nearly as well.
It was actually just Danae's impression the whole time. Mickey D is sleeping. She's very good at it.
You did great. Wonderful. Make sure he gives you a percentage of all the money I'm paying you to read that for me.
From a bit. Thank you for putting me in the book. It's very nice. I was reading through it and I found my bit beforehand, so I had a sneak peek, but it was very nice.
Good. I'm glad you enjoy it. That's the whole idea. That's all we want.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
won't stay on too long. Thank you for having me on. Bye. Hi. I'll be in chat, but
Good. I'll see you there.
thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Nice. By the way, if you want to hear more of Mikity's lovely voice, there's all these videos, and there's also how long did we talk? At least an hour, I'm sure. Close to an hour, probably, with the 20 Years of Morrowind podcast, where we talk about Morrowind, modding, Elder Scrolls, all of that. Phew! Now, Codring, you're not in the chat, are you? Because you could read that story. I'm getting so lazy. This is pathetic. Hey, Chato! It's been a while. Lovely to see you again. Thank you so much for the sub on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Oh, I hope... Oh, you're gonna be disappointed. Did you hear Mikity's voice and you were like, oh, but I love this guy. Quick! I should like and sub, and then you realize that it's not Mikity's channel at all. The disappointment. Miki Danae is a great crossover. Nice. Alien's love story is long and I'm getting tired, but please enjoy the screenshot where we have Basil the Bastard and Leia. I don't know if that was Hlalu or later on when you were in different houses. I strongly recommend you read that story, obviously. Alien's Love, also one of the podcast episodes that we have, also a written interview on my blog, and more importantly, Alien's Love and Denina have published a new set of stories of their characters. You can tell me, do tell me. When was that? Is it early Basil and Leia or later Basil and Leia? The second series. All right. So that's when Basil is still Vanny and Leia is Redoran already. Are you removing the cat from my computer? Paul close to the power button. Leah, sorry. I'm saying it the French way. Leah. Remember that, chat. Thanks for the correction. Denina, would you put the link to your short stories in the chat? Because people ought to read them. Now, not now. We're looking at this book, but right after it, go take a look. And now we're getting lots of people that we know, but we're also getting close to midnight, and that's gonna be my bedtime, guys. So we're going to call it a day. There is still so much, so much. I'm gonna hide it. Let me find. We want to find. I know who we want to find, and that can be your final story. Oh, but you have to see that. How creepy, gloomy, scary, and beautiful is this? Dominic Stankovic also. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. I want to show you good stories, all of those. Good one, but that's not the one I want. Not the one I want. Now we're looking at epic moments. So many epic moments. That page is beautiful, but it's the page on the download page, so you've seen it before. Up, gone. This is so unfair. This is so unfair how I hide things from you. I'll tell you, I'm looking for a Dark Elf Guy story. There it is. I hope I'll be able to read it well enough. Wouldn't it be nice if Dark Elf Guy... It turns out that Dave Humphrey runs UESP. Yes, absolutely. Nah, Because Escobar said, yes, absolutely. And for me, it's the same. Like Dave Humphrey, I know the furniture mod, right? But he's much more than that. He actually founded the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages and still is running them now. Like Morrowind gave him his job. The Elder Scrolls is his job. How amazing is that? It's pretty cool. Do listen and relish. For now, we'll conclude. And there's a kitten breaking things. We'll conclude with Dark Elf Guy's story. That's a good way to conclude. And we're like halfway through the book. Okay, so there's more for you to enjoy. Morrowind was the very first open world game I ever played. The very idea of an open world game was an entirely new concept to me. I had never experienced a game that didn't have some form of invisible wall or boundary to keep the player contained within a tiny playable space. So being able to go where I want, explore whatever I desire to form my own adventures, well, that was a novel and intoxicating idea indeed, not innocence. So when I arrived in Danae and got my marching orders to go to Balmora, I went in what I thought at the time was the exact opposite direction, taking the road to Flatwood and getting absolutely lost in this strange alien world. I wandered through bogs, got into fights with strange worm-like creatures, and dodged a falling wizard. But it wasn't until I reached Flatwood, well into the nighttime hour, and stood upon that shore looking up at an alien sky that I became fully immersed in the world of Morrowind. Poking through the clouds were the twin moons of Massa and Secunda, though I did not yet know them by those names, looming amongst twinkling foreign constellation, and it was at that moment, gazing upon an unfamiliar sky, that I truly fell in love with the world of Morrowind. 20 years later, Morrowind has become a place I call home, a world I return to again and again, and while that once alien strangeness has become a familiar and welcoming sight, I'll never forget the first night stargazing on a foreign shore. Signed, Dark Elf Guy. And you're absolutely right, Huscobar. Also, MW Edit, which is an amazing tool. I think also NPC Edit. Though I wouldn't, bet anything on it. I don't bet on anything, generally speaking. But there you have it, guys. I'll put the link to the download page again. .net.sk. This is so easy to remember that I memorized it. Get the book, okay? I did notice a few things that will be tweaked in the coming days, but you can download it again. Why not? Speaking of Dark Elf Guy, tomorrow you will get his podcast episode, and I thought that was quite fitting to have that so close to the anniversary. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for joining me, for sharing those stories with me. There's so much more. I didn't show you the one that made me all emotional and all that. Lots of love. Very, very true. It was a very special experience. Morrowind is amazing. We love it. Do we need to say it again? Yeah, we'll say it again. Salut. Salut, Colin. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll finish the stream, but I'll host someone else doing something Elder Scrolls-y, if not Morrowind related. Hey, no!
How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. I'm a god. How can you kill a god? Shame on you.
No cascade.
This mix is definitely my favorite one. You made it just on time to say goodbye now. There's also an old cascade story in the book. Find it. I'm completely knackered, but that was amazing. I'll see you next week. Next week there's the podcast, there's interviews. I probably will be playing Morrowind, or I would like to mod it because there's the modathon as well. There's so many things going on. check in the Discord. Like when there's cool things happening, I'll post about it in my Discord, in the modding community Discord, and now I'm gonna post the link to the book in everywhere. And then I'll go to bed. Until then, thank you guys, love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.